All right, I am Vegan Stoner Lady. I am here to. Oh, why are the settings on that so bad? I want to be able to see through. That's so weird. Oh, here we are. That's what I want. Yas. We'll go like so. Okay, close that. Got this here. It keeps moving my chat. I don't know why it does that. Why? And then I have to go check it. That's wild. Stop doing that. Okay. Pull you up. All right, let's go. Whoa, no. Too many things too close to cords. Woo, let's go. All right. I think y'all can hear me. That looks good. What is this? There's like an additional volume button. I don't know what that is. Is it? Oh, it's the volume. I can turn myself up. That's weird. Oh, wow. Okay. New audio mixer. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Noted. Yes, so I'm Vegan Stoner Lady. I'm here to ask you why you're not vegan. I have resources. Anti-Animal Use is a great website. Lots of resources. Click on the button that says resources. Click on see what I fund. Click on take action, or excuse me, it's like do something. Just go to that website. Just go there. Check things out. And veganism, let me give you a quick definition. Veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of fellow sentient beings. So I don't want to demand someone be exploited because I don't want to be exploited. I'm sure many of you were anticipating me going live out in the field, and I was planning on it, but the weather decided to be flip-floppy. I was out there with anti-animal use earlier, and we were doing outreach, and the weather literally went back and forth between rain and dry. And I was going to be in the same area. So I was like, you know what? No one's going to talk to me especially if I'm by myself. So I decided to go live on TikTok. There is a chance that we might have some anti-animal use people join us. So let me grab that link. Copy, close that. Put this back up here. Hey, YouTubes. Good to see you. Appreciate you being patient with me. I know you've been waiting. You guys are amazing. Here's the link. Okay, that should bring you to me so you can come to the live and you can request up. We're looking for non-vegans that think they have a moral justification to not be vegan. And so, yeah, let me pull up. All right, here we go. Tickety tockety. Excellent. So yeah, I want to know why you're not vegan, non-vegans. YouTube, who's here? Veteran vegans, what's up? Yes, Winter Chronicles. I agree. It's great that we need to educate people about veganism because a lot of people don't understand. Like they hear the word vegan, they're like, oh, I wouldn't want to be vegan. But they don't even realize they already have the same values. They don't think that people should kick dogs for fun. They don't think that people should have dogfighting rings, right? There's some things that we've clearly agreed on, but we're still not living in alignment with our own principles because it's so normalized to exploit others. We don't even think about it. But that's what activists are for. We're here to be like, hey, look at this. You've been avoiding looking at this. Look at it. Do you really feel okay supporting this? So, yeah. You don't have TikTok? That's okay. I mean, it's just an incentive for you to come over here because this honestly is a great platform to host, to bring people up. You can bring up guests and talk to them as long as they're over 18. And you just don't have another avenue where you can do that, where you have that freedom. Oh, I see somebody down in the members. Vegan Christianity, what's up? I don't know if you're actually in here or if it just popped a character up. Sometimes it's just random, but it should be if you're a member and you're talking, that your character pops up. These are called tiny advocates. And when you become the raw tofu member, which I kind of did it backwards. I did fried tofu and then raw tofu. And I was just thinking like the ultimate vegan eats raw tofu. Not that you need to, it's just more of a funny joke. So yeah, if you have that membership, you become a little character on there, but I can't change the prices. It's like locked them in. So I have to work on that. But other than that, you're going to see little characters pop up, and eventually you're going to see them emote and throw up hearts and fireworks. I mean, you'll see them throughout the live, but yeah, the Tiny Advocates is definitely worth it. It's a lot of fun. Yes, good to be able to watch from YouTube. I love that there are more TikTokers that are streaming themselves to YouTube because it widens your audience greatly. So it gets us all together and we can all talk. So yeah, with that said, so real quick, I'll run through it again. Why are you not vegan? Resources, antianimaluse.org. And then if you're on the YouTube chat, click that link to come over to the TikTok live and you can request up and talk here on TikTok. All right. And then I didn't check out my TikTok audience real quick. Who's all here? Can vegans eat insects? It's not about can. It's that we don't want to because we know they're a sentient being who cares about what's happening to themselves. It's not a gang or a religion. So there's no rules. It's more like this individual is sentient. You know, we shouldn't use them. I don't know what I said. Oh, you asked, can vegans eat insects? How long have you been a vegan? I've been vegan 10 years now. Anybody? What's up, Keith? I see you. Right on. Good to see Life. I see you. Good to see y'all. Okay, right on. All right. Well, let's get started. I will let you up. Hold on. I have to go. I'm going to go in order of what I see right now. Ghost T has been sitting there for a minute. But you got to be over 18. If you're not over 18, I have to drop you, okay? You can ask your questions in the chat. There are other vegans that will answer your questions. And with that, let's go. Hey, Ghost T, are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm over 18.
Right on. So are you vegan?
No, I'm the opposite.
All right, so why aren't you vegan yet?
Mostly for my nonconformity reasons, but mostly because it's just how I grew up and it's how I accept myself.
Nonconformity reasons? I don't know what you mean.
I'm a nonconformist, meaning I don't play by the rules of other people.
Okay. Well, so how does that affect veganism or your choices on veganism?
Well, simple. Vegans out there question why I'm not vegan. They wish that I do want to be vegan.
Oh, I don't care what you do. It's more like, what do the animals want you to do?
It's not more or less like what the animals want me to do because they have no control over my actions.
Yeah.
It's about what I want.
So when we talk about human slavery, do you think that it mattered what the slaves thought?
Yes, it's our own species.
Well, what does that matter?
It matters because we're the same kind of species. You never go against your own species.
So if someone is a different species, does that change that they care about themselves?
Drastically, yes.
Tell me how you know that.
Simple. I would assume that our...
Oh, you assume.
So we are currently right now...
This is all your assumption.
No.
Okay, I need you to show me, I need you to prove to me that you know that animals don't care about themselves.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So before I get to that point...
No, you need to answer that point first.
I need
you to answer that point
higher
first.
Species above us has more control than us.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste my time with you. I don't care to, like, play debating games. Okay, I want you to answer the questions. Hey, Finbot. Yeah, exactly, nonconformity, and then proceeds to say he just does what he did growing up. Nonconformity, huh? Yeah, that's funny. Good point, Keith. So the fact that we may be superior in some way, I don't think we are, but let's say we are. Just because you're superior to someone, why does that give you the right to violate them? A parent has the authority and the power over a child, but that doesn't give them the right to abuse them, to misuse them, to exploit them for their own benefit, right? Because that child is sentient and they care about what happens to themselves. And even if they're unaware of their exploitation, it's still immoral for a moral agent, someone who knows right from wrong, who knows that they themselves wouldn't like to be the consequence of someone else's harmful actions. It's important that you take action with your agency to not harm others. That's your responsibility with that power. And to say, well, because I know better and they don't know better, I get to use them for my pleasure, regardless of the fact that they care about what happens to themselves. That's what an oppressor thinks. And the fact that you think they don't care about what happens to themselves, and you go to, I assume, you need to go with, this study states this. You need to show me empirical evidence, not just your epiphany, okay? Animals are sentient. We have the New York Declaration of Consciousness and the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness, not to mention every single animal welfare legislation in any country. They all recognize that animals feel pain and that we should minimize their suffering as much as possible. So to go on about superiority, right, out the window, doesn't matter. What matters is somebody cares what's going to happen to themselves. If you lost your superiority, should we start exploiting you because you're not as smart and you can't do things? Of course not. Doesn't matter. You still care about what happens to yourself and you want to live in peace. All right. Flamer, come on up. Are you over 18? You teacupped. I can't hear or see you. Okay.
Can you hear me
Oh,
now?
no. I'm so sorry. You can request back up. I just didn't hear from you for a while, so I assumed it was just like an accident. Where did my little window go? Oh, that's weird. Oh, there it is. I want this. Did you request back up? There you are. Hey, Flamer.
Hello.
Hey, are you over 18? Sorry about that, by the way.
Yes, I'm 19.
You're 19?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you vegan?
No.
Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I just like to eat meat, and it tastes good, basically.
So your taste pleasure, is that it?
Yeah, and the vitamins and all of this to have a better development.
Do you think that we have alternatives?
Wait, say it again.
Do you think that we have alternatives?
I don't know about that.
Okay. So if you found out that there were alternatives, would you be willing to go vegan?
No.
And why
I'm
not?
not going vegan.
Why not?
Because I don't like eating plants.
Oh, what's
simple.
veganism?
It's not eating meat.
It's not exploiting others, actually. So I don't want to.
What do you mean by others?
Those that can feel.
Animals are not like
those that can feel
like us.
Those that have emotions and experience life.
Can an animal write an essay?
Not all humans can write an essay. My mom can't write an essay. Should we exploit my mother?
Why?
You just said
Everyone can do that.
You just said if they have to be able to write an essay. My mother can't write an essay. No, she cannot.
Okay, so basically, can animal write anything?
There are many humans that can't write anything. Should we exploit those humans?
I'm not. I didn't mean that.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat this. I'm going to repeat
your.
your logic. I'm asking you, what morally justifies using animals? What makes us different from them? Like, what do humans have what do 100% of humans have that justifies us treating other animals differently?
Like, animals are not human. They don't deserve
But that's
life.
just a category. You're literally just listing off a name of a species which we gave to ourselves. So what is the morally relevant difference between other animals and humans?
Animals are not human.
You're just repeating yourself. Are you not capable of having this conversation?
I'm answering your question.
You're begging the question, actually. You're begging the question. I'm asking you, what is the difference between humans and animals? And you're like, that's a human. No, that's not what I asked you. I'm asking you, what is the difference?
The difference is we are humans.
Okay.
We are
So I want
carnivores.
you to hang out in the chat and learn something. First off, we're omnivores. But if you just keep repeating that we're humans, we're just going to move on. You're just literally saying in group. You're saying because someone is not in my group, I'm going to ignore the fact that they care about what happens to themselves, and I'm going to use them for my best interests. That's not fair. We did that. We've done that to each other. And we learned, hey, we actually have a lot more in common than our differences. And those things that we have in common, those are more important. Our sentience, our preference to have positive experiences and to avoid suffering, right? Those things matter. And that's why human slavery is wrong, because humans experience suffering. They experience emotions. They have their own preferences. And it's not fair to push your preferences onto them. The difference that you're having with other animals is that they look different and they don't speak your language. So if someone looks different and they can't speak with you, you're saying it's okay to use them. That's not right. So maybe hang out in the chat and learn a little bit. All right. Joanne. Is it Joe? I'm sorry. You tell me how to pronounce your name. Is it John?
Hello.
Hi. Is it John, or how do I pronounce your name? Hello?
Yes. Johan.
Johan.
It's my
Thank
name.
You. Johan.
Yes.
I'm so sorry for butchering your name.
I'm 60 years.
Perfect.
I'm 60 years. I have a question for you.
Okay.
What's the difference for sheep to be eaten by me or by a wolf?
Why are the sheep there?
The sheep can be a wild sheep.
Where are these wild sheep?
Outside. No, I asked you the difference for the sheep.
Yeah, but so the
What
thing
is the
is, you're trying to make a fake or a false dichotomy. These sheep are born into existence with their date of death already printed, like it's already decided when they're going to be unalived. Sheep in the wild are not all predated upon. They're not all predated upon. It sounds like you're having another conversation. Do you want to come back later? Okay, we're going to move on. I don't have time to sit here. So for the sheep, if they don't exist, they're not going to get eaten by a wolf. It's that simple. Hey, Bishy,
Hello.
Are you over 18?
Yeah.
Awesome. Are you vegan?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Aside from the vitamin content, mainly the vitamin content, mainly the fact that veganism means you have to eat a lot more food. Like, you have to eat a large amount of food that the body generally doesn't
Where
agree
did you
with.
get this information from?
Studies in general. Like,
Can you name one?
Vegan food is very, very fibrous.
It is fibrous, yeah. Do you know that most people don't?
That's not good for your body.
Where's your evidence of that?
It's indigestible.
Yeah.
You physically can't digest it.
Yeah, but you know that the longest lived people eat the most fiber, right? Look at
No, they
the
don't.
blue zones. Yeah, the longest lived people eat the most plants.
Generally, though, people in a healthy range of caloric intake, which is 1800 to 2400, live the longest.
Okay, I don't know what you're quoting,
It's
but if you go look at the
it's
blue
irrelevant to
zones, they
diet.
actually eat a lot of plants and very minimal animal products. And there's evidence that shows that animal products can be detrimental to your health. But I'm actually not here to talk about health, because I think you can be healthy and use other animals. I'm here for the ethics.
But that's the thing.
I'm here for
But
the ethics.
if I take your argument,
hold on a second. I don't think you know where I'm coming from. So I understand you think you can't get all your vitamins without using animals, and we can cover that. But I just want to be clear that veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of other beings. So because I can find everything I need in other sources, and there's no need for me to exploit someone, I'm going to do the best I can to avoid demanding someone's exploitation. Every opportunity that I have presented to me that I can avoid demanding someone's exploitation, I seize the opportunity and I do not exploit others. It's that simple. So with that being said, do you think that, since we know we can get our vitamins from other sources, do you think that it's justified to take the life of other living sentient beings? You can unmute yourself. It should be right there.
Oh. Well, I do for the same reason that you think you can.
What?
Veganism requires the deforestation and destruction of habitats to
It does
grow
not.
food.
Nope.
Yes,
You're
it
lying.
does. How else would you do
You're
it?
lying. You need to
How is that
prove
lying?
it.
Explain to
prove
me.
it.
Just explain
Prove
it.
it.
I
Prove
can
it.
explain myself.
Prove it.
You prove it.
So there's a study called Reducing Food's Environmental Impacts Through Producers and Consumers, and they found that we're dedicating 83% of our agricultural land to raising animals and their food. And they found if we stopped enslaving other sentient beings and just focused on feeding humans, we could actually feed all humans and then some a full diet on a quarter of our current ag land.
How much of that land is
A quarter.
land that isn't primed for growing?
Did you not hear what I just said?
What did you say?
Think of the math. Out of all the land that we grow on, 100% of our agricultural land, 83 is dedicated to raising animals. 83.
Yeah, it's dedicated.
I can do the quick breakdown
for the
him if
supply
you
and
want.
demand of having animal products.
Do you want me to do the quick breakdown for you on arable land?
Yeah, you can do it. You probably know more than me.
Okay, so we currently use 1.24 billion hectares of cropland to grow crops for humans and livestock animals, right? We have to feed both livestock animals and us with crops.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we have 2.89 billion that goes to pasture land. When they analyzed, the data in this study, and mind you, this is the largest meta-analysis to date on this topic, the amount of land that we need to grow crops to feed all of humanity plant-based is about 1 billion. 1.24 is a larger number than 1. So we need less cropland. We don't need to worry about like total arable land available because we need less arable land.
Did that make sense?
I mean, yeah, that did make sense. But at the same time, doesn't the refuse from growing crops and the things you don't use, couldn't that be still used to raise cattle and livestock?
We still have to grow plants to feed them.
No, but you have refuse and husks.
We have refuse
and
right
things
now,
that you
and
don't.
we're still growing plants to feed them.
Yeah,
Okay,
the thing is, we
no.
can use refuse for things like composting and other purposes, like even like clothing and things like this. We don't have to use it to exploit a sentient being. Like that's the whole purpose. We can find like humans are incredibly intelligent. We don't need to be so unga bunga brain dead that we still continue to exploit animals because we can't find how to use a corn husk. Right? We have all kinds of ways in which we can incorporate and use these items.
Yeah. So what it actually comes
Another
down to,
point
no,
is-
Bishy, what it comes down to is someone sentient losing everything, right? Are you against human slavery?
You can't
Are
equate.
you against human slavery, yes or
animals
no?
but
Are you
we're not
against human
enslaving
slavery,
beings.
yes or no?
I'm against human slavery.
Okay, good.
We're not
Why are
enslaving
you
humans
against human slavery?
because it would be wrong to enslave someone who's like you.
Why?
Because it's immoral.
Yeah, why?
I guess.
I agree with you, but why?
Because you wouldn't want it to happen to you justifiably. I mean, there's probably some arguments to do with cooperation, and you don't want
No, there's a lot of human.
Is it still wrong?
someone you want to
Sorry.
cooperate with.
Go ahead, Keith.
Is it still wrong, for example, to enslave a human who's just not smart at all, like someone who is born with conditions that make it so that they cannot do like math or read or critical thinking? Would it be okay to enslave them?
No.
Right. So then what's the morally
What
relevant
would you gain from them?
It doesn't matter. Someone can always extrapolate ways in which they can exploit another human being for their purpose. The point would
Human
be
trafficking. I can't say the word because it's TikTok, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, the point would be is like if you're going to say it's wrong to enslave a human, especially needlessly, and we're trying to make the argument against needlessly exploiting and enslaving non-human animals, and you think one is okay and the other is okay, well, we need to find out what the morally relevant trait difference is between the two beings in the same, because the scenario is the same. The principled outcome, the layout is exactly the same. We're just changing one variable. The variable is changing from human animal to non-human animal. So what's the morally relevant difference between the human animal and the non-human animal?
Probably to do with the fact that they aren't the same species as us.
Okay,
And
so
they can't. We aren't born from them. They don't.
If we found out that, like, you know, like a group of people through divergent evolution were actually not Homo sapiens, they were something else, but we've always assumed for years that they were human, is it now okay to just start aimlessly exploiting them because we learned that they're not human?
No, of course it's not. In today's society, no, that's not okay. But
Then species is also not the trait.
it's kind of different because these animals have specifically been raised and bred over so many generations for the purpose of feeding our population.
Do you think dog fighting is okay?
No.
Okay, well, those dogs were bred and, you know,
But dog fighting is
specifically-
for entertainment, not feeding people.
Well, what we're doing at this point is also for entertainment. It's effectively for a taste pleasure. We don't need to consume them for sustenance in the vast majority of cases. We could extend some grace to certain individuals in very dire circumstances that might need to consume animal products, but that's not going to be yourself, and it's not going to be the vast majority of humans.
It's difficult to consume vegan food for a lot of people.
Okay, what's difficult about it for you?
It's generally quite unappetizing. You have to eat a higher volume of food, which is difficult for most people, for a lot of people actually. Well, for me it is.
So
I can't eat that big of a volume of
we
food.
got to go one at a time. So unappetizing. Is your favorite meal on this planet, you know, plain boiled chicken?
Why would no? That's
Okay, then
why would I eat plain
do you
boiled chicken?
enjoy dishes that involve chicken?
Yeah.
Okay, well, very clearly the chicken itself is not the star of the show then.
Why would I boil the chicken?
The point is that the method of cooking, the spices, herbs, the marinades, the dressings, the sauces, everything.
No, I just use butter, chicken, salt on a pan.
Right. And that's going to be the same equivalent here, right? You're using spices and herbs and other fats and other things that aid the flavor. Yes, salt. Salt is always obviously important when cooking.
Yeah.
So like the same methods of applying like texture and flavor can also be applied to plant-based options like seitan.
How much more effort and requirement is it to make this food appetizing for you, would you say?
It's very minimal. It's the same relative process.
How much effort do you think how much effort would you say, and how much variety and how much thought do you think you have to
My
put
partner
into
cooks for us
vegan
every night, and
diet?
he takes like 30 minutes to cook things. He doesn't even think about it. He just goes in there, cuts up maybe tofu or puts some beans in a pot, makes maybe some pasta. Like, it's really easy. It's not hard at all.
Yeah, on average, like in studies, like plant-based meals on average take about 33% less time to cook and prepare. So like in terms of time to do this, it's actually less, not more. And in terms of like, yeah, understanding how to like prepare things, there's all kinds of like plant-based meals that are very well, very comparable in terms of like relative like taste and texture and other things like this. The point would be like, there's going to be some difference. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, there's no difference at all. There's a difference. But the question is, does this negligible difference of say like 5 to 30% different, and different doesn't imply bad, it just implies it's different in some other way. So does that variance of like 5 to 30% different now justify exploiting on end 92 billion land animals and 1 to 3 trillion marine animals every single year? Like, does it make sense for us to continue doing that for this mild taste inconvenience?
I mean, it's not mild, and I mean, the thing is, you're bringing in a moral argument that I fundamentally don't agree with, because these animals have been reared. I don't know about the marine animals, mind you. They obviously haven't. We're just
human slaves were bred too.
Okay,
so just breeding
those animals
someone
aren't human.
Yeah, but that's just in group think. You're literally just saying you're not in my group.
No, but why is it okay for us to eat
Bishop,
ruminant mammals?
He's too focused on his pleasure. Okay. He's too focused on his pleasure. Are you,
Bishop, you still have not named for us the morally relevant trait that justifies doing this to one but not the other.
What about plants? Why aren't they morally
Plants
relevant?
are not sentient. That's the morally relevant trait difference.
If you
But
if
they
you
still
can't
have-
answer this,
I
I
mean-
will drop you. We're gonna move on. So what's the morally relevant
What was
difference?
the question again?
What's the
What's
what's the morally relevant difference?
The problem is, like, I would say my contention is fundamentally with the way veganism is advertised, which is you're trying to like
So you're not
shoehorn me
answering.
into a
Got it. So
logical.
you're not
like,
going to
sort
answer
of-
the question. Cool.
Yeah, we'll end it right there. Like, I don't know how many times we got to ask. That was at least over 3
What?
times. So, yeah. Keith, well done, by the way. Welcome up. Lovely to see y'all. Dashing Grandpa, Lori, Keith.
Oh, Keith.
Lovely to see y'all.
Thank you. Hey, Keith. Hey, Grandpa.
Yeah. I was
Hello.
going to be live on the street, but if the weather keeps going from like really sunny to raining, like hard, fat, big drops. It's just unpredictable.
I feel
Oh,
I've been
cool.
kind
You're
of looking
getting
at that
rain
myself
up north.
today.
Right on.
Yeah.
I wish we were getting rain down here.
I mean, it is spring, but
Yeah, I can't complain because we're probably going to need as much rain as
yeah,
possible.
I know. I keep
this
thinking about
spring
that. The dry
season,
season
so.
coming.
Yeah,
Exactly. Just enjoy it.
we did not get enough snow. So.
Where'd you go, Anna? I can't see you.
Oh,
What happened?
am I gone?
Shoot. I just see a black
Uh-oh.
picture.
I think it's just you. Lauren.
Uh-oh.
Is it just me? Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Let me drop
Okay,
and come back.
okay.
That's
I'm
weird.
sorry. That sucks.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. Come back up. Okay, let's get the next guest going, and then I'll keep an eye out for Lori. Ant. Hey, Ant. Are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay. We already spoke, didn't we? I was looking at your image. Let's bring up someone else. The best C. Are you over 18? All right.
Yeah.
Why are you vegan?
No, I'm not vegan.
Why aren't you vegan yet?
I got like a few reasons. Number one, I like the taste better for one. Number two, my like second reason is I have to eat a lot of protein and it's easier to get my protein from animals. Number three, I enjoy going out and hunting and stuff like that, and it would be wrong for me to kill an animal and not eat it, or mill an animal and not eat it. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. And those are like really just my main three.
Okay. So, do you think that we should respect animals?
Well, yeah, of course. I'm against like okay, hold on, real quick. I'm gonna say this. I'm against like breeding and like having these big, I guess, farms just for like, human consumption. But I don't see anything wrong with going out and hunting it for yourself,
Well, when you hunt, do you feel good when you shoot them? Like, is it a good feeling, or like when you take their life?
Oh, no, of course not.
Okay.
No, taking anything's life is never a good feeling. I feel bad when I take a bug's life.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
preferable if they could live and you could still get the things that you needed?
Eh,
Because it's not. Because you
Not
just said
really.
that it's not.
But it's
But you
easier.
just said that pew-pewing them is hard. It doesn't feel nice. So why do it?
well, it's not hard to actually do it, but it still feels bad
And
after,
why does it feel bad?
because I took something's life, but I did it for my own consumption, so it's
But why
fine.
do you feel bad?
I don't really know. Just looking into like something that's like eyes that like doesn't have life behind it.
But
Kind of.
so were they
little
sentient
saddening,
before
but
you
it-
took their life?
Well, yeah, of
What does
course.
sentience mean? If
Sentience means you have like consciousness.
yeah, it means that you have your own subjective experience. You have emotions, right? You make preferences.
Yeah,
Do you
of course.
think that when you pew them, that they were looking forward to the next positive experience?
Well, I don't believe animals have like that kind of. I don't believe
they
that they have.
sentient?
I mean, of course. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying
Are
to
they
say.
sentient? Okay,
yeah.
so they have emotions.
Absolutely.
Do you think that they were looking
Yeah.
for that next positive experience?
Probably, but my next positive experience was eating.
Was it fair
so
for
it's okay.
you to pew them and take their life from their perspective?
Maybe not from their perspective, but from mine, it was.
Would they have preferred to live?
Probably anything would
So you
prefer to
feel
live.
bad. They would prefer to live. Why do you keep doing it?
Because they taste good and it's easier for me to get my protein.
So if you
I mean, like, hold on. I'm gonna give you an example because y'all like using examples as well. So I'm gonna give you an example. So do you think somebody, let's say, on death row would prefer to live?
if someone's on death row, first of all, I'm not for capital punishment. I think that's wrong. I don't think we should. I don't care what your crime was. We shouldn't take your
Oh.
life. That's like saying it's bad
Oh,
for
we
you
are
to do
complete
this, and I'm going to do it
disagreeing
to
there.
you now. Like that doesn't make sense to me. So, but if
We're on
someone is,
complete
I would
disagreement.
hope that if someone was getting this in a deserved way, it was because they did something. What did the animals do?
Oh, yeah. Well, existed, I guess.
So,
But
because
same time.
they were forced to exist, you think it's your right to take the life that they wanted to continue to live.
Well, yeah, of course.
You don't think that's wrong?
No.
What if it was a dog?
Eh.
See,
How
I
do you
don't
feel
know
about
if you're
dog?
being honest. It sounds like you're reacting with emotion and you're just being flippant and you don't want to answer these questions.
What does that mean?
It
What does
means you're
flippant
not
mean?
thinking. You're just throwing out a response that is a defense so that your emotions are
So
protected.
I have. When you say would I take a dog's life? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, would you go out
With reason, yeah, I have.
regularly and hunt dogs for the same purpose?
Oh no, dogs don't taste good.
People hunt smaller animals. What's wrong with that?
I said dogs don't taste good.
How do you know?
Because I know people who have eaten a dog before, and they said they didn't
That's
taste good.
interesting because cultures are circled around it. Why? So,
I know there's cultures that are
you don't
circled
think
around it.
it's
I asked somebody
immoral.
from
You
those
just
cultures.
think that it tastes bad. So, if your friend was like, "I'm gonna go hunt this dog, and I want you to come with me, but I'm gonna take it home and eat it," you would go with them?
Oh no, because I wouldn't hunt anything I wasn't going to eat myself.
Why?
Because I don't hunt for the enjoyment or
You
for
do
somebody else. I
though,
hunt for myself.
because we already went through this. We talked about how they want to live and how it's hard for you, but you prefer it.
Yeah, because they taste good.
Yeah, but your taste, I mean, humans taste like bacon. Does that justify eating humans?
Why would you know what a why would anybody know
We
what a
have
human tastes like?
anecdotal evidence from people who have consumed humans, and they compare us to veal and pig. And there's even a term called long pig that was used to describe people eating us.
Oh, well, I never knew that. I didn't really look into
so
what
now that
humans taste like.
now that you know that humans taste like bacon, does that now justify farming or hunting humans?
Well, I don't eat pigs, so if they taste like bacon, they probably have the same kind of bad stuff that pig
Let's
has
say
in
they
them, so no,
don't.
I
Let's
wouldn't
say
do
they
that.
taste amazing.
Well, that's a let's
Yeah,
say,
you
not
can't
an actual
answer it,
fact.
can you?
So we're not
Yeah,
going to
you're
do that.
running.
I mean,
Go ahead,
the
Keith. I
the
dropped him, but
question.
please continue. Please make
Oh
your
yeah,
point.
I mean the point of hypothetical is just to test the moral boundaries of your position. Like if you're gonna say, "Oh, that's just not real," it's like it doesn't matter if it's real or not in the current circumstance. The point of answering it is to determine if you're gonna base exploiting another individual off of taste pleasure or not. It's not hard.
I honestly feel. Oh, go ahead, Lori. Sorry.
Disagreeing, I said, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I just don't think I could hear that they're just reacting to my questions. They weren't actually taking the time to think about them. So that's why I was like, "Oh, you're just in an emotional state right now," and that's fine. We're human and we do that. So it's not to put you down. It's just more like you're not being honest right now. And I would love to talk to you when you're in a more honest state of mind.
And I highly doubt he had a friend that tasted dog or ate dog. In the United States, I mean, yes, that has been happening, but very, very.
You could make the argument that
Very
like
minute.
I've had cow and pig body that didn't taste good. I had someone make a chicken body for me and it was disgusting, right? But humans still eat those animals even though someone made a bad dish with their body. So just because your friend had a bad dish with dog in it, that doesn't mean dog tastes bad. It just means the person that cooked that dog's body didn't know how to season, I guess. And what we're saying is like there's no morally relevant difference between the chicken, the deer, the cows, the pigs, the fish. And we're saying you shouldn't use any of them because as this person knows, dogs care about themselves. Dogs have personalities. Dogs don't deserve to suffer. And we just don't think about those other animals. We think they're just automatons moving around in a field, but that's not even the case. They're literally just like dogs. They want to play and do the things that are natural to them. And yeah, they may need some protection because we've handicapped them. We've definitely made them grape each other over and over again so that their genetics made a mutated baby to fit our needs. So I think that it's our responsibility to care for those that are here. But we should stop them from breeding. We shouldn't make them have more babies. Obviously, if it naturally happens, that's one thing. But if we're forcing it and just trying to use that as an excuse to exploit them, that's just ridiculous. We should just let them be just like us. They should be as free as us. All right. Would y'all prefer if instead of me dropping them, you spoke with them? I just don't want them to be up here for an hour. I just don't want to do that anymore.
I don't know. You're fine to take like a disingenuousness like gauge and
Okay,
end
cool.
it.
I just didn't want you guys to feel offended.
I agree.
Cool.
Oh no,
All right,
you're cool.
If you guys feel differently, though, I totally will hear your thoughts. So, all right, let's bring up Jeffrey Dinglenut. Hey, Jeffrey.
What up, Stephen? What up? What
Oh.
up?
Well, your name is funny at least, but you sound like a child. Ryan Craig. Why do we have to eat animals? Yeah, why? Why do we have to? We don't have to, actually. That's the best part about it. Humans need food. Yes, they do need food. We can eat plants, fungi, and seaweed, though, and use a lot less ag land in the process. Oh, Ryan, I'm so sorry. It doesn't look like it's going to work. Maybe request back up. Easy 4. Hey, are you over 18?
Yes.
Well, maybe if your voice drops a little more. Oh, also real quick, while Sab's Divas is loading in, I wanted to thank Vegan Christianity. I left you on the hook again. You dropped 5 pounds for me. Thank you so much. I really wanted to thank you for that. Thank you. And Pandora, thank you for the floating hearts for the jewels. Thank you so much. That's really sweet. Thank you so much. And oh, I'm so sorry, Sabs. I don't like doing this. I have to thank them. Keith, thank you for the heart. Sarah, thank you. You've been spamming. Oh my gosh, the hearts, the fingers. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. Thank you, Lori. You also sent stuff. Ellie, you sent two roses. Thank you. Victor, oh my God, thank you. You're the top 5. Thank you for being here. Man, you are here regularly. It's good to see you, though. Good to see you. Void, thank you so much for the little bear. And Cardo, thank you for the Chicago pizza, a vegan pizza. Okay, thank y'all. I wanted to just make sure I got that out of the way. I'm really bad about doing that, and I just really wanted to thank you. Sabs, I wouldn't have brought you up, and I'm so sorry you had to sit through that, but I appreciate your patience. Are you over 18?
Yeah.
Beautiful. I prefer talking to adults. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Well, I used to be, and then I had massive health issues. I was in New Zealand, and I was living in an area where we had the highest amount of vegans per capita. And my entire community was vegan. It was normal to have potluck dinners as part of our socializing where you would bring a vegan dish. And you didn't have to say it that it had to be vegan, because if everybody was going to eat, it needed to be vegan.
Sebs, before you go too much further, real quick, what is veganism?
Veganism, it is to not use animals in clothing, in hair products, in your foods, in anything in your life, unless it comes from naturally not alive.
Is there any caveats to the definition?
I would say yes and no, depending on who you're speaking with.
Right. Well, we would defer to like the definition proposed by the Vegan Society, right? So the definition given there is to avoid the use and exploitation of sentient beings where possible and practicable. So let's imagine someone, I'm not going to even say this is your case. We haven't analyzed you yourself yet to see like what was going on health-wise, but let's pretend this person has like Eslos disease and can only survive by consuming some amount of cholesterol. And the only option for consuming cholesterol right now in today's world is either a medication that is derived from animal products or consuming animal products directly. So this person has to consume animal products in order to stay alive. If this person is avoiding, clothing, cosmetics, hygiene products, all these other things that involve, exploiting sentient beings, but they're only taking in the amount of animal products required for them to stay healthy and thriving, that person is still a vegan. Does that make sense?
I disagree with that, actually.
Okay,
I think
so
what
Rakesh,
happens
so
is,
wait, do you
can I
think that
actually respond to you?
well, hold on,
Can I
but
actually respond?
well, hold on, but do you think veganism is like some exclusive club that you can only get into by being like a perfect human?
That's not the point I was going to make. If you actually allow me to respond, I will make the point that I want to make.
Sure, but it's going to contradict the definition, it sounds like.
The point I would make is that that I've seen this happen with so many people. What happens is your health starts declining in different ways for different reasons, and there are a lot of different reasons. And then you change your diet accordingly, and you start relaxing on other things as well. And life gets hectic, and you start not asking what's in this,
Sorry,
what's
you're
in
adding
that.
extra things to the scenario I described.
No, I'm talking about life. I'm talking about
Yeah,
my
I'm talking
experience
about
in
a very
life.
particular scenario. You're describing a situation in which this person kind of gives up and consumes more animal products than what would be necessary for them. The very
No, I'm
specific
talking
scenario.
about life. I'm not
Hold
playing
on,
into your
stop,
scenario. I'm
stop.
talking
This is
about
ridiculous.
living
I gave you a
experience.
very specific scenario to ask you if this person is still vegan, right? So this person is not consuming any animal products beyond what is necessary for them to stay healthy and thriving. That person is a vegan, yes?
If you want to say that, I've never seen that happen in life, but okay.
Okay, then there's no disagreement on that part, correct?
Okay, sure.
Cool. So like yeah, this expletive that you're going into about like this person who is doing that, but then one day just kind of gives up and starts leisurely
No, it's not
consuming
one
animal.
day that gives up. That's not the way it works. I'm talking
Okay,
about
yes,
real life.
fundamentally over time, it doesn't matter. They something changes within them that they start leisurely consuming more and more animal products. That's
Um,
not veganism,
I don't know
for
if it's
sure.
leisurely consuming so much as not meeting the definition of veganism. Like you may find yourself having lollies that have gelatin in them because it's just a little bit easier than having to read all the products. It's very slowly over
Yeah,
time and
that's
it's
called
small
leisurely
things.
approaching it. That's exactly what it is. You're just leisurely unwilling to turn the box over and look at what's on the side and be like, yeah, I probably don't need lollipops right now. I'll order some that don't have gelatin, or I'll find a different brand that doesn't have gelatin. So, like, that is just literally lackadaisically or leisurely approaching the scenario.
Well, it's not one day. You said one day you just happen to. It's like,
I
no,
also
it's
entailed a
very
scenario in
slow.
which
It's
they
over
just
years.
over time it just changes. It doesn't have to be one day like out of like, a bajillion. It can just be a transitionary mindset where something shifts in them. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm under no like assertion here that like this person is going to just like, on Tuesday, January 5th, 2024, he just goes, well, I'm just not going to care anymore now. There can just be a transitionary like mindset shift. But again, this is a shift away from what veganism would have as something that's like effectively like steadfast. So I'm trying to just like point out here, if someone is actually steadfast as a vegan, but requires animal products to stay alive and thrive, that person is still capable of being a vegan. So, like, again, for your scenario, we can just steel man your scenario for a moment and say you had to consume some amount of animal products to be healthy and thrive. Like we can pretend that like all the medical like examining required to confirm that was done, and that at the end of that you're like, well, shoot, there's no way for me to be healthy and thrive unless I consume some amount of animal products. They help you determine what that amount is, and then you keep it within that bounds and you don't consume anything outside of that really in terms of animal products, then that would still be veganism. So being a former vegan just implies that either one day or over time you started lackadaisically approaching these problems rather than holding a conviction. So what in your eyes made it okay to start needlessly exploiting sentient beings over time? What made it okay to needlessly do that?
I think you're missing the point of why I actually came up here at all. The reason that I came up here was to say I've seen whole communities go from veganism to not being vegan anymore over the period of 30 years. It's not because it's too hard, it's not because you don't care, it's because you start having to make
Wait.
compromises
Are
for a
you saying that
multitude of
all vegans
reasons.
are going to get sick?
Not all,
Are you
not
saying
all. I know
majority
a
of
couple of
vegans are going
people
to
have
get
It's like the
sick?
maintained
majority.
veganism.
Yeah.
The
What's
majority
something
do
that we're going to
start
get
having
sick from?
problems, yes. Okay, for women approaching menopause, that can actually then have major muscle loss.
Start lifting weights.
Because it is something that happens. Yes, you can start
Who
lifting
has
weights.
it harder,
That will
you
work
having to
unless
lift
you have
weights
joint
or the animal
issues
going
and
into the
Sebs.
slaughterhouse? Who has it harder?
What
Yeah.
I do with as a job is I'm a personal trainer. So I've seen this over and over. Yes, you can lift weights, but there is also a process that goes on there. And you can have joint
So
issues, you
what?
can
You
have
don't,
tendon and
you
muscle
won't have
issues.
joint issues. You won't have joint issues.
You're pretending that women don't get joint
I'm
issues.
saying
One third
you
of
can
all
be
women get
vegan and
frozen
treat your
shoulder.
joint issues.
I mean, Sebs, like the point would be like, did you consult the actual empirical evidence, or is this just like anecdotally of like looking at people around you and go, well, guess you can't do it?
I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm going to say more that some of the health issues are not going to 100% resolve if you go, I must be vegan and I will
why don't
not
you go
make
to a
any
dietitian?
compromises whatsoever.
So yeah, again, Sebs, veganism isn't
We
that
have to
much.
learn dietitians
Sebs,
to
we
come
just
on
went
a
over
diet.
this. We just went over this, right? We just explained to you how if someone absolutely had to consume animal products, like, and they actually verified this with trusted professionals, and there was no way for them to be healthy, that would be a meaningful decision to now consume animal products in some amount. But it doesn't give any kind of resolution to the problem, again, to my question I gave you of what justifies needlessly exploiting and using sentient beings when you don't have to. What's the justification for that specifically?
What do you mean by that? Because
For
I'm sort of like
example,
listening to
let's
that
not
and
talk
I'm
about
going, are
health
you
for half a
against
second. Let's
factory
not talk about
farming?
health
Well,
for
so am I.
here.
So
Let's to explain this. Let's not talk about health for half a second. Do you think it's justified to buy animal products and clothing, cosmetics, hygiene products, art supplies, etc.?
Okay, I'll give you a breakdown. I am against factory farming. I am against animal
No,
testing. I would like those things to stop. I do believe that
I
there
gave you a
are
very
more
specific
ethical
question.
ways to go about it, and I'm trying to answer that.
And I just
Every
need
time
an
I try
answer
to
to
answer
whether
you,
you
you
think
try
it's
to
okay
shut
to
me up.
buy so no, I just need an answer, yes or no. Is it okay to buy animal products within those
I'm not
things
going to
when
give
you
you
don't
a
need?
yes or no because there are
Okay, then this is
ethical yeses
pointless.
and there
You're
are
not giving me
non-ethical.
anything direct. Like what?
Yeah, I agree. She kept going between it's a necessity for people to use animals and then back to, oh no, it just lazily happens. And she literally ping-ponged between that.
Yeah. And obviously we didn't get into any like the actual empirics, but like I guarantee not a single one of these people in this quote unquote community she's describing actually sought out professional help to determine if they genuinely needed to. They probably just anecdotally hopped from one person to the other. It's like, did you hear that Jane doesn't feel so good? Oh, I should start eating animal products too because Jane didn't feel so good. I don't want to feel like that. And then it just
Dude,
like
social
snowballed.
networks are
Like,
that strong. They really are that strong.
Yeah.
If a group does something, they tend to like bounce it around their group. Or if someone does something in a group, and people are inspired by it, then they share it in the group. And if someone starts to feel really terrible, and start bashing, the idea of veganism. But like you were trying to get to the point, like what's the ethics behind veganism? It's like, because I don't see animals as a resource. So how could you just let it slip into your life? It's one thing, like you said, if it's like like I'm having health issues and the doctor literally says there's just no other way versus, oh, I'm just not going to look at the back of the package. Those are two different scenarios. And she was literally trying to like meld them together.
The justification fell down to like lollipops.
What are
like,
you, the Seaspiracy director?
You obviously don't need
Vegan
lollipops.
marshmallows all over again. Cry me a river about your lollipops. Just flip the bag over.
Say how long she was vegan? Like, did she say how long she was vegan?
I didn't
for?
retain that.
I don't know. She claims some kind of like, I watched this community of vegans dissipate over 30 years. Like, I don't fucking believe that for a second.
God.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're a vegan for a long time, like you're able to live that lifestyle, and then you're like, oh, I have health issues. It's like, did you have health issues that whole time? And now,
I don't know how.
I know,
don't
same.
have
Like I
health
actually
issues.
often feel better.
I'm the fucking crypt keeper, man. Man, that's what I was going to ask her. How long she had been vegan? You know,
I don't think anyone in that relative community over that 30-year span figured out at any point along the way what the hell veganism even
Exactly.
is. They're all just sitting there. It's like, oh, it's when you don't eat chickens and stuff, and that's it.
It's just abstaining. It's like that's not it at all. It's not just abstaining. It's saying I don't want to support someone's exploitation. I don't want to demand that because I don't want it demanded of me. I don't know, it just seems pretty obvious, but good job, Keith, though. You handled it well. Hey, Dashing. Are you there? Oh, hey.
Look.
There's just a lot of awesome.
I'm here.
Are you riding along in the car? I might have to drop you if you're driving. Okay.
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, it's good to have you all up here. Hey, OD.
Hey,
Odd. I keep calling you OD. I don't know why it just jumps to that now. It's so embedded now.
It's fine. Just call me whatever you want. How's everybody
Good. It's
doing?
good to see you. Yeah.
To see y'all as well. I just ate a so delicious ice cream sandwich.
They make such good sandwiches.
oh, he's going to get the giggles. He's going to get the giggles now.
I'll be all right. I rode my bike for a little while, so I got my energy out.
Okay,
But
where'd
also,
you
I'm
get your
starving.
burger from?
Oh,
Ann?
no, I just
Where's your burger
randomly-
from? Tell me. Where'd you get your burger from?
This is
it
called
good burger?
Face Plant.
What?
Let's see. Yes.
Oh, Face Plant. Okay.
And they're really good. I really like them. I will say my favorite burger place over here is Gnarly's, but they're gone right now. So they do pop-ups, so I can try them every once in a while, or try their burgers every once in a while. But yeah, so Face Plant, and this is actually really good. They did a good job. It's fast food burger.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a nice burger here. They have a nice burger here,
That's
which
awesome.
is really good. That's what I forgot. That's what I thought it might have been. But
They also have chicken nuggets that are vegan, and they're really good too.
So is this place, yeah.
So, yeah, I'll be snacking in between.
You have been eating grass,
Dude,
man.
my grass
That's
is
all
so
grass.
good. And then I got dessert,
I know.
which is just, gardening. Actually, I do have a milkshake, which is vegan, with strawberry. Also delicious. I did outreach earlier today, and we had a vigil yesterday. And I was gonna go live yesterday, but I was just so tired because we had been up since I think I got up at 2, like 1:50 in the morning. So yeah, Ian got us junk food today, so we're eating processed junk. Everybody, oh no.
That ain't that highly processed.
I mean,
It's not like
most
animal
people
product
eat
processed.
hella processed food, so it's like I'm just participating in American culture right now. Okay.
It's
Look,
a good process.
The vegan police are on their way to your doorstep right now.
No, get away from my door. All right. Ah,
You know what you did.
I do. All right, let's get another guest up here. Hey, Kepi, are you over 18?
Hello.
Right on. Are you
Yeah, I'm
vegan?
20. I am not vegan because I don't see the point in it.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what veganism is?
Oh yeah, I know
tell me
all
what you think it
is.
means, just
Yeah.
so we're on the same page.
So I've already listened to your guys' definition. I know it's just not using any products, animal-wise, anything to the sentient being of what you
That's
guys are
not the
talking about.
definition,
It's
though.
just nothing using any animal products.
That's just a side.
Right, I get that, but I
So
heard
it's
your
actually, I
guys'
want to be clear
definition.
though, so that we both know what we're talking about here. I'm not talking about you abstaining. I'm talking about, do others deserve to be exploited and used for you when they don't consent to that treatment?
Well, no, I don't think so. But I also don't think that any animals should be having to die in the crops that you
Oh,
guys plant,
you would
which
still
is,
go vegan
roughly
then.
2 billion a year.
Hey, that's fantastic. Okay, so I actually I'm actually in the green industry, and I'm a certified pesticide manager. I I've worked on farms and landscaping, and now I'm an arborist. So here's the thing. Vegans don't grow that food. We are not the ones in control of that situation. And further, you are actually, when you eat these animals, you are actually contributing to more crop deaths than a vegan possibly could for a couple of reasons. One, because it takes a minimum of 4 times as much vegetable protein to feed that animal than it does to just feed yourself directly. So that means that there are 4 times as many crop deaths at minimum. Now, adding on to that, though, when we prepare food for human consumption, when we are treating those fields for human consumption, we are actually allowed to use less pesticides. You can't have as much pesticide residue in there. So you're actually providing more pesticides.
Right. But there's still 7.3 billion animals dying from pesticides a year.
So,
worldwide.
so you don't
billion
actually.
that you eat, plus trillions of sea life.
So
Okay,
you
well,
don't actually
here, let me
care
explain my
about
idea
this
before I
then.
get overtalked for an
So
hour.
wait,
I've watched this happen.
so you just overtalked me.
No, I
I
think it
was in the
started with you
middle of.
first.
I never stopped talking. You just kept going. You just started going. Okay. So that said, there are you don't actually care about the crop deaths because you're pretending like you do, but when it comes down to it, you are contributing to so many more times crop deaths than any vegans are. And on top of that, vegans are the ones who are out here pushing to change the way that we grow and harvest crops. We actually have many groups out there that are trying to get veganic methods as well as veganic permaculture out there as more of a thing that exists in the world. The thing is that the majority of farmers are not vegans, so we are really fighting hard against them.
Right, illegally. Yeah, right. I've seen that before.
Illegally?
Wait,
What?
what are you saying illegally? What are you
I've
saying
seen
is
tons of
illegal?
farmers having to do their own thing to get you guys off of their field.
What?
What are you talking about?
I've seen plenty of it. Okay, can
You're
I argue
you
myself
wait.
now, or are you just gonna keep
Explain what
talking?
you just said because you said something that needs extreme proof. Because
I've seen it. I've seen
we are
protests.
the owners of some of these these farms you're talking about, but the majority of vegan owned farms are small and are not things that like we don't feed into the corporate system, generally speaking, because it takes more work to get there. So what are you talking about? Because I was just disproving the point that you made.
This point, what prove? I said a couple
Yeah, no, the first point that you said was
of
that
7.3
vegans
billion
are
animals dying a year.
unaliving more
I never
animals
said
via
that.
crop deaths than
Oh,
I
and maybe
than
this
never
will
those
said
who
help.
that.
eat meat.
I said
Actually,
Let
you
me
you
were
did. That
clarify.
was
practicing
the
I'm
eating
going
it.
to
very
say
first
something
thing
because
you
maybe this will
said.
help clarify for Kippy. Um, okay, so
Yeah.
veganism is not against the unaliving. I can't say K word because we're on TikTok, but it's not. We're not against
Right.
unaliving. We're against exploitation, the use of someone unfairly for our benefit. I hope that clears it up. You can continue on.
Okay. So my whole point from that was that it's a contribution factor, not a vegans are killing more. I'm saying all the vegan-based products are being used to kill them with the pesticides.
Okay,
Like
so
that's my whole point.
Odd
Is that
already
there's
went.
7.3
Oh,
billion
go ahead,
animals
Odd.
dying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand what this has to do with the reason why you
It
continue to
doesn't.
eat
I was
animal
trying to get
products.
there.
Because we're talking about you and why you eat animal products.
I was trying to get there. So I like the fish, right? And there is plenty more spawning rates than death rates of fish. Like, I mean, over 10 to 15 times more spawn rates of fish.
Ooh.
And I just don't think you guys have done the research on that.
No, see, you have not done the research on that. I think Keith may be the one who has the numbers on this, because eating fish is actually among the worst. It not only destroys the lives of those animals, but it also destroys entire ecosystems, and they leave plastics behind that continue to harm, more and more ecosystem after they've left. So no, eating fish is worse than most forms of eating animals.
How so? Because fish are the only animal that we can produce more than what we eat.
Go ahead.
Okay, again, it is actually hugely destructive to the environment beyond the lives of those animals. Keith's got the numbers.
Say, if that's the case, then why are scientists projecting we might potentially be looking at fishless oceans by 2050?
That's not because of killing them. That's just because of all the pollution.
Well, no, it is because of the unalivement. How many fish do they unalive per? How many fish do they unalive per year?
Roughly 2 to 3. I think it said billion or trillion. I'd have to get my facts straight. Trillion. Right, and the average carp lays 300,000 eggs for a single carp. I just want to let you know. Now,
but you also have to look at
you have to
look at the birthing and success rates. The number of eggs being laid doesn't mean that all of those result in a tangible, viable carp. Right. So, secondly, most people don't eat carp. People don't enjoy carp.
I picked a poor fish.
Yeah, the number of tuna in existence are drastically, that's a popular fish. People like eating tuna. The number of tuna in existence is steadily on the decline over the last 60 plus years. We're not looking at tuna having a massive rebound or tuna doing really healthfully. We're seeing the opposite of that. We're seeing a species being wiped out slowly over time here.
Well, I would like to argue that, and I don't think that's actually happening. Okay. I would like to hear a statistic on that.
Sure, hold on one second.
I would want to know eventually why it's okay to take someone's life when you don't need to, but we can get to that.
I never talked about killing people.
I didn't say humans.
That's just awful.
But we could talk about that too. We could talk about
humans be unalive for me.
We can talk about how bad the animal agriculture, including fishing, is for human lives, and how many people are unalived in the process of those.
So if we're going this route, are you saying it's bad that we have alligators, because the total population of alligators will kill hundreds of thousands to potentially millions of animals each year?
We are arguing against what you were saying, which is that your lifestyle is not aiding in the unaliving of humans, and it is.
It's aiding in the unaliving of humans.
Yeah.
You're saying I'm helping with killing people, but I don't see how.
I'm saying that
not that word. My bad.
I'm saying that animal agriculture is terrible for human lives, and that there's a ton of evidence about that, and there's also a lot of evidence that shows that people and societies that are okay with the exploitation of animals tend to treat humans much worse as well.
Okay. Well, hold on. I'm gonna have to repeat that last part. What? Hold on.
Oh, so there is a lot of research that shows that both individuals and cultures that are okay with the exploitation of animals are also more likely to exploit or harm humans as well.
is more likely to. Is that not a fact? Is that just some opinionated research?
It's
Or
because there are just too many different factors to say like, oh,
right? Okay, so then that's an invalid
because
fact.
the thing is, there are sociopaths who do not eat animal products. That's fine. That is a truth. There are sociopaths who do all sorts of.
Wait, he cut out. I'm confused.
He might have had an alarm or a phone call. So what I really
Okay.
want to know. Oh, go ahead, Od. I'm sorry. I didn't know you came back.
No, I just was saying sorry. I was at 10% and my phone did the thing. Go ahead.
I wanted to know, like, when I say someone, I'm talking about both other animals and human animals, because we're all animals. And when I say others, I'm recognizing that we have a
Right.
lot of similarities. So I can be specific. What in your mind makes it moral to rip someone from their home who wanted to live and who you didn't need to rip from their home? What makes that moral?
So we're someone or an
Someone
animal?
who happens to live in the
And
water.
Okay. Okay. Well, here's an answer. I would like to say that they're probably going to die
I
no
mean,
matter
you
what.
and I
We have
are
so many
also gonna
apex
die.
predators in the ocean. It's all
So does
prey,
that
right? I get
does
that.
that
I'll die
morally
eventually.
justify me taking your life now? Because you could end up having your life taken by getting hit by a car. Someone could unjustly pew pew you, right? Someone could come up behind you with a knife, and I could prevent that by doing it in my humane manner right now.
Right.
Is that moral?
But I kind of had a
Is that
second point
moral?
to this,
Is
and
that
I get
moral?
that. I
You're
get that.
saying you
It's not.
get
It's
that, but
not.
you're not.
It
Okay,
wouldn't be
so it's
technically
not
moral.
moral to just take someone's life or to exploit them when I don't need to.
Right.
Okay, I'm glad we
Right. But
agree.
that's where I go into my second point. I agree. I'll agree on the
Okay.
morality of that. But I will say that I do want to kind of bring up the not the last person. I think her name was Sab. She was like 51, and she was vegan for 30 years, is what she said. I'm pretty sure. Um, I would like to say that yes, there can be health
Like what?
issues, and even if you're like the lack of B12, the lack of any proteins, and yes, you can take them with
Then
vitamins,
what's
but
your
then that can
point?
bloat you and
It's
give you
bloat you. You're
certain.
making stuff
What I'm
up now.
saying is that
See,
it's just
you
not an
see how
ethical
you
way to
already
live.
debunked
No,
yourself.
I'm
You
not.
already talked
I'm
yourself
not.
into.
I'm
You
not. I have several facts in
already
front of me.
debunked yourself. You're like,
Kip,
there's
wait,
alternatives, but they make
Kippy,
you feel bloated. Like you don't even have evidence.
are you
Pathetic.
wait,
There's no.
wait,
You didn't let.
Kip, hold on. You said you said that after B12. Are you saying taking a B12 supplement would bloat you?
Hilarious.
What are you saying will bloat you?
I'm talking about any certain dietary
Like
supplements.
what?
You think
Well,
taking wait, hold on.
You
You
can
think
get
there's a
kidney
correlation
strains. You can
between
get digestive
oh,
If you
distress.
overtake them, yeah, if you're just
no.
sitting there
Sorry.
popping vitamins all day, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you take them at a recommended dose,
So like what's the scientific paper that points in the direction that taking a B12 supplement will typically bloat you?
I was more considerably talking
or
about
like
other
just making
dietary
it up.
supplements. That was just the first one I
Such
could think of.
as
I mean, I take B12, but not to like that much of a dosage.
yeah,
oh,
but
But
okay.
wait.
also,
Well, we don't take it to that much of a dosage either. You're not supposed to take any of these vitamins to like egregious levels. Like
And
you just take whatever is required for the RDA, and that's it.
and
yeah,
that's
and
why
also,
your skin will continue to decline and
and
look like that.
Wait,
wait.
wait. Taking
I
the recommended amount of B12 causes your skin to decline.
Just being a vegan and using all those types of dietary
You're a
supplements, it
joker.
doesn't
You're a
really
fucking
affect your
liar and you're a
body
troll.
normally.
Dude,
okay. Yeah,
Kevin, you're just like running off of like nothingness at this point. Like
yeah.
what?
That was just
Yeah,
offensive for no reason.
yeah. That
Yeah,
person was
for
a
real.
joker. I think I know who this is, but I'm not 100%. It's a tiny image, so I'm not sure. Okay, that's
Andrea's
what I thought.
she's
Okay.
vegan. No. I was just gonna point out. So I went to go pull up the bluefin tuna stuff. So yeah, 2016 study on Pacific bluefish tuna stock assessment was the name of the study. And specifically within the study, they found that Pacific bluefin tuna has had a 97.4% decline.
Did you say 97?
Over the last 97.4% over historical records from before industrialized fishing and whatnot.
That is really sad.
Yeah, and for the Atlantic bluefin tuna, it was 82%, and they didn't give an exact amount, terrible. But in the southern bluefin tuna, they listed it as catastrophic decline / critically endangered status. So, and that was coming from the Commission of Conservation of Southern Bluefin Tuna, the CCSBT.
Wow. That's, I mean.
But exactly. These fish just repopulate. Just like they lay so many eggs, so obviously they're.
Does that mean if you're born in a big family that it's not a big deal if you pass away?
Yeah, it's. I mean, I definitely wanted to get into that.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I know you were looking it up. I was just more he keeps going on about reproduction and us basically maintaining their numbers, and I was just like,
Yeah, I just wanted to show that sentiment that this just automatically means that you're going to have a fish stock be healthy no matter what, or rebound no matter what, or anything like that, just because they can produce a lot of eggs doesn't work out.
Yeah,
it's just not how it is.
Smiles, I see your comment. How long am I going to be live? I think another hour and a half. So I think I usually try to go for 3 hours. So we'll see. I'm at an hour 16 right now, so I guess an hour 45. But yeah, I'll be up here a little bit. Well, thank you for that, Keith. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Odie.
Oh, I was just saying Lori's down there asking to come up.
Oh, I don't see you requesting. I'm so sorry. Oh.
I feel like she's had that. She's
sucks.
been having that
I'm sorry,
issue
Lori.
lately.
Come on up. Also, and Andrea, I'm sorry, is it Andrea?
Hi.
Andrea. Okay, I want to make sure I said. Andrea. I don't know. Have I had you up here before? Okay, I didn't think so.
No, but just real quickly, y'all. I mean, I've been vegan for 15 years, and it's the best thing. It's better for the animals. It's better for the environment. It's better for your health. Was that guy talking about B12?
Yeah.
You sure was.
You literally get so much B12 in 2 tablespoons of.
I was gonna say nutritional yeast. Yes.
No, but the problem is that's going to bloat you.
It's got a bullshit, and it has protein. I get the whole protein argument. As a vegan woman, I get over 100 grams of protein a day, which is more than enough. We are talking about protein so much, which of course protein is important, but if you want to get into the health aspect of it, yes, protein is important, but nobody's talking about fiber. And the reality is a lot of young people are dying from colorectal cancer because they're not getting enough fruits and vegetables in their diet, and they're not getting enough fiber. So everyone talks about protein, which again, protein is very important, but you can absolutely be healthy on a vegan diet. You can strength train, you can get enough protein from protein that's healthy for you, that doesn't have cholesterol. Us as women, right? The number one killer of women is heart disease. So if you want to avoid that, get on a vegan diet. Is the whole diet aspect excuse of it? Just be honest with yourself and say, I don't care enough. I prefer the taste instead. But even I've been vegan for 15 years right now. The vegan food that we have now is so good. Even that's a ridiculous argument.
Did you hear that person earlier saying that fiber is actually bad for you?
Yeah, that's why we have a lot of people dying.
Yeah, that's so sad too. Oh my God. All these people too that are going to get colorectal cancer are going to be like, why me? What did I do? And it's it's right in front of you.
Girl, I saw this woman on a carnivore diet, and I was sorry if this was kind of gross, but she was I literally have a bowel movement once a week, and that's so healthy. And I'm girl, no, it's not.
Oh my God.
What are you talking about? That is not healthy. Get some fiber in you. Again, protein is it's very good for your health. We should be, but if you're vegan and you just kind of monitor what you eat, and try to get all your protein in. There's Hero bagels and Hero tortillas that have a bunch of protein.
I mean, we live in the era of protein. I feel like you can find vegan protein so easily.
Yeah. freaking like protein pasta that's vegan. Like there's just a bunch of stuff now. So the whole protein excuse is honestly just BS. You can absolutely be healthy. And guess what? You're also not participating in killing animals. And you're not participating in ruining the environment. AI is also from the environment. Everyone talks about how you shouldn't be using AI. Sure, okay, great, I gotcha. And yes, obviously the corporations are what's really messing up the environment. But you want to know, as you as an individual, what's the best thing you can do individually to help the environment? Go vegan. I'm sorry, but that's just the reality. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but this is just the truth. Protein pasta is really good. It's not disgusting. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But, like, all these, like, you could all three. So, like, why not? Why not slaughter animals? Why not help the environment and also be healthier?
Yeah, the water use thing on data centers is always strange to me because it takes about like globally we use about like 1 trillion gallons, cooling data centers globally. But we use about 12 trillion to like water our lawns instead of just turning them into like wild forage spaces, which would be much better. Yeah, so 12 trillion goes to that, and that's just for vanity lawns, like not like, if these were just like, natural habitat areas that we just kept in our front and backyards that we don't need to mow and we just have wildflowers and things like that. Well, we don't need to water that really, at least not to the same extent. And then it's about 500 trillion that goes specifically into animal agriculture. Yet it only gives us 17% of the global calorie supply. So yeah, so 1 trillion versus 500 trillion.
I have to write that down.
So,
500.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I get that not everyone wants to be vegan, but just be honest and say you don't want to be. Stop with the excuses of like, oh, I can't because of health. Unless you have like some, I don't know, medical issue or something like that. But like most people, like all of us, damn near all of us, you can be healthy on a vegan diet. You help the animals and help the environment. And so that's all I just wanted to hop on real quick.
Oh yeah, I followed you
for
back.
sure. I'd love to continue.
I followed too, Andrea.
Everyone go follow
I
Andrea
love
right
it.
now.
Like,
Right
I
now.
love
Right
thinking.
on. Right on,
And
girl.
like,
Right on.
I'm telling you, like people always ask me like, what do you eat as a vegan? And my response is, everything you do, except that it's vegan.
Exactly. That's the best response.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, there's, and back in the day, like, again, I've been vegan for like 15 years, so it was more difficult for sure then, but now it's like, there's vegan versions of everything. Everything you can possibly imagine, like, you can make vegan.
Sunny
So,
side up eggs, steaks, bacon,
literally,
all of that.
just eggs is great, and it has like a third of the carton has like 16 grams of protein or something
and
like
it's
that.
got fiber.
So it's great, and it's got fiber. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm sorry, but it's just like I would definitely recommend it to folks. Like try it, or at least like I understand if you can't be vegan, but like do meatless Monday. You don't need meat. Like that's the problem with our society. Is I feel like people feel like they need meat at every single freaking meal, and you don't.
Exactly.
And go
I was gonna
vegan.
say, like,
Like,
I don't
try
do
to
the
go
meatless
vegan.
Mondays, but what I do tell people is like, if you're feeling like I can't do this wholly, it's like you need to go see what it is that you're purchasing. And I don't think of it as like all these changes I have to make right now. It's just more like, well, my next meal is gonna be tonight. And I'm gonna just try to focus on that meal alone right now. And like, what do I need for that meal? Like, what was I gonna eat? What animal product could I replace in that meal? So, like you said, it's just taking it one opportunity at a time. I don't like to advocate for baby steps because baby steps can hurt. Not that you were doing this, but baby steps often result in still babies being left behind and harmed and used. But if you think about it, like I said, just every opportunity at a time. That's the best way to keep moving forward. And then it just becomes second nature. And it literally took me like maybe a month to get my new habits down. And then, I knew what I wanted. And then you've done it.
And then you get it. And it's like, oh, and then people being like, it's so expensive. Stop with that. Like beef is the most expensive.
I'm sorry. Was
it's ever
everyone
been
complaining
now.
about vegan
Like,
products
I'm
or
sorry.
eggs being too expensive? Yeah.
A period right there. Come on now. Like, I'm sorry. It's just, it really is a great thing. Like, I love it. It's one of my favorite things is being vegan and knowing that I'm doing good for
Yeah.
like all three, you know, and not harming animals,
Yeah. Exactly.
you know? So
Thank you for coming
thank you for
up.
having me on. I appreciate
Okay.
it.
Well,
I'm
I was
going to
gonna
go ahead
say,
and
if you
go,
ever
but
want, because
take care.
we do advocate just for abolitionist veganism. We don't do baby steps. If you ever wanted to come up and advocate, though, you're welcome to come up here. Cool. Awesome.
Sure, absolutely. I would love to.
Yes, it
And
was
it
lovely
was
talking
really
to you.
nice
I'm glad
talking
that
to
we got
you.
to chat. Thank you for coming up. All right. See ya.
Take care. Bye.
Oh, I love running into other vegans that I haven't met yet. Oh, and the train has got some members in it. I love it. The tiny little advocates. I love seeing them move around. I can't wait till they can do things, but it's fun to see them, the members. All right. Let's bring up the next guest. D? Maybe?
Are you there, D?
A, B, C.
D. Hey, you're there. Hey, we got
Hello?
you.
Can you
Are
guys hear me?
you over 18? Okay. And then
Yeah,
are
I'm
you
19.
vegan?
So
All right. Why
I'm
not?
not, no. I eat, well, first off, I do enjoy eating meat. It's my favorite food. I also think it's the healthiest route for the planet and as well for the human body. So that's what my stance is. What exactly are you guys arguing? Or I haven't really been on stream. I've just been sitting and just cleaning my room while you guys
Okay.
are
So
talking to other people.
veganism
So
is an ethical stance against exploiting others. So we don't want to demand someone else's enslavement because we don't want to be enslaved. Do you agree with that principle? You teacupped, so I can't hear you. Uh-oh. Maybe he got a call. All right. Well, you can request back up later if you want. We're just talking about... Sorry?
Maybe that's all he needed to hear, and now he agrees.
Now he agrees. He's vegan now. That's all it took, guys. Just the definition. Oh, yeah, I agree with that. That's how it should be. Yeah, I don't think we should exploit each other. And I honestly thought we had to eat animals. So it was like, oh, I need my necessity. And I didn't even know what that necessity was. I just thought you had to eat them.
I mean, honestly, you could just ask them if they agree with the definition. If they say yes, it's like, cool, that's all we need. Go
Yeah.
explore that further.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I can only give you information and then send you back into the world. Thank you, Ian. I was just about to do that. Awesome. All right, well, let's get up Sarah. I will put a note in here. If you keep spamming, we're going to mute you or possibly bump you depending on what you're spamming. So just understand that that will happen. Oh, I thought I clicked on your name, Sarah. I'm all like sitting there waiting.
Another vegan.
Oh! Sarah's a vegan? Sahar? I'm probably butchering the hell out of that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Sahar's vegan.
Oh, yay!
Yay! Sorry, my internet is so bad, so I'm just lagging quite a bit.
Oh no. Okay.
But it's okay. I can still speak. I can still speak.
Okay.
Well, VSL, nice to meet you. I haven't really spoke to you ever.
Yeah, it's lovely to meet you
nice
too.
to meet you.
Yeah. So you're an activist. Are you like you want the immediate liberation for all sentient
Yes,
beings from human
100%.
cause?
I actually just became.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, I'm lagging like horror. But what I'm trying to say is I've been vegan for like a year and a bit more. So I'm just really recent to the whole thing.
Welcome. It's amazing that you're already an activist.
Yeah, Sahar's cool.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about it, honestly. Like, if you meet people that I know in real life, they all just call me annoying and a piece of shit because I
You
just
sound
talk
like
about it
my
every
friend
single
then.
time.
I'll take you. You're my friend now. I like loud vegans. That's what we need. We need more loud vegans. Oh, I can't find you on my list.
Am I lagging though? Am I lagging really bad?
I mean,
Oh,
it doesn't. I don't think so. But it does say your signal is really low, though.
Oh, lagging so bad.
Oh no.
I'll try not to speak.
Do you want me to drop you down and you come back up?
Yeah.
You want to try that? There you are. I found you. I'm gonna drop you and then come back up. See if that might help. Sometimes it's just when you drop and you come back up, it'll fix the delay. Wow, I said duh. I'm gonna bring up the next guest while we wait for her to come back. Or for them to come back. I don't know.
guys.
Sarah? I followed you back, by the way. So. All right. Is it? Oh man, you're gonna test me here. Is it Shazanol?
Yeah, that's it. That would do.
Right on. Yay, I got it.
Right. Just a question.
What's
up? I'm not vegan myself.
Okay.
But I do believe, I do care a lot about animals in the world and all that shit.
Okay.
I think it's, do you not think it's a little bit contradictory to have AI in the background, considering how much damage that does to the earth and to animals, and it uses like
I don't think it's contradictory. No.
4 trillion liters of water a year.
Let me ask you a question. Do you where do you get your paper maps from?
I don't use paper maps.
Oh, what maps do you use?
I don't need maps. I know everywhere I'm going, I know where I'm going. But either way.
Oh, so you don't travel. You don't go outside of your hometown.
Not at the moment, but either way, I know what you're trying to get at. But the point is,
because it uses a lot more one image that's been around for years.
Could you not have drawn that? Like, could you not have drawn that? That's a need and a use. Like everyone uses. Like, supply chain uses it. Like, it's not a need and a use that you have an AI photo. That is just a waste. Like, is it not?
No, I'm using it for.
What?
I'm using it for. I'm using it to advocate for the animals. So I think that it has more benefit.
So how much water do you think it makes to create one AI photo? Because I have the
You're feeding the problem. You're feeding the problem either way. If you're using
what problem?
Answer the question. How much water does it use?
It uses 4 to 7 trillion liters a year.
Wrong. It uses 5 drops.
But
it uses 5 drops to make one image. How many does it use to make one burger? How much water does it take to make one burger? This is a valid question.
I invited them.
Why do you guys keep muting me? It's just a simple question.
The first time.
Why are you losing your mind for? It's just a simple question.
Because you're talking so fast and you're not listening.
You could have.
Yeah, you're not listening to what anyone other than yourself is saying. So I'm going to talk faster so that you can't talk over me, because what you're saying right now is contradicting yourself. Okay.
It's fruitless because why not commission an artist?
Do you eat hamburgers?
What does that make? What difference does that make compared to you?
It uses more water than making an AI image does. You are a hypocrite. You are destroying the planet because you like the taste of a burger. It's disgusting.
He came up and said he was vegan.
You're destroying the planet because you can't be bothered to draw.
Vegan.
You're destroying the planet because you don't support create. You're destroying the planet.
Oh, okay.
You don't understand how AI works.
You can continue your comment. I'm done with him.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what it comes down to.
Not vegan. They don't have like a lick of anything to go off of. Like again, globally, we're looking at about 1 trillion gallons of water used for data centers. It's 12 trillion to water your lawns globally, vanity lawns, by the way. And then it's 500 trillion specifically to animal agriculture.
Yeah.
So what are we even talking about here?
He wouldn't even let Odd respond.
Yeah. It's like if we're concerned about water use, it's not even again to your point. Yeah, it's basically a drop in the bucket. I think there's other concerns that come into play with AI, and we can discuss those, but I don't think that they really cooperate much with veganism itself. I think.
And if they're concerned enough with the use of AI to be upset at a single image, then they should not be on TikTok at all.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Because the amount of AI that TikTok uses is far more than the amount that it takes to make a single AI image.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, especially because all of these social media platforms are now integrating AI into them, so you shouldn't be on any social media platform.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just data centers in general are
Yeah,
going
that's
to
true.
use resources.
They're all gonna
Like
cool stuff
it's just
down.
yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
utilize the internet to any capacity, like congrats, you're going to be using water, and
Yep.
you may or may not like the amount of water it uses. But also, the thing is about technology, y'all kind of realize that technology improves every day, right? Like the amount of water consumption required for older data centers versus newer ones is, pretty night and day difference. And they're working on, I was just reading about like a new chip that they're working on that effectively requires about like 1/50th, if not more. 1/50th or less of the amount of cooling requirements of current chips. So the amount of water would be potentially none because they could just air cool it.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
like the problem is like going to steadily be going out the window anyways in terms of the water consumption problem regardless. Like
Yeah.
it's like they don't they realize that the water thing is not publicly favorable. People don't like the water thing and like they yammer and clamor about it all the time. So
Yes.
they don't want to have that like sitting on their backs as like this problem point. They're
Mhm.
like very steadily and surely going to replace it with like better
Absolutely.
chips and better options.
Yeah.
And you know what? AI sucks. AI sucks for so many reasons. But what people do when they get up here and they argue against AI and in favor of the unaliving of animals is they are virtue signaling. And that's how you properly use that word, because they're trying to act like they're trying to act like
I'm standing
they
up
are
for the
so
water.
much better than all the vegans in the world
Yeah.
when they are causing more harm than a single AI picture ever could.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly, I was going to stop using AI images for a while. My partner is a programmer, so his job is completely entrenched in AI. That's just the whole company, in fact, has now switched to using AI for a lot of stuff. And they're not the only company. That's why I say even the social media companies are doing this exact thing right now. So he has already access to this tool, and I just happen to be able to benefit from his access. And that's why I utilize it for activism purely. I actually don't. I mean, I'll ask it questions on how to use things, but often it's like because I'm doing activism and I'm trying to make some mechanism
I
work.
mean, yeah, your point is like the core one, right? The core drivers of like the most water consumption happening from like these data centers focused on AI is not coming from general users. It's coming
Sorry.
from
Oh, that's okay, Lori.
companies. It's coming from companies that are employing, AI models within their systems, right? They'll use ChatGPT for their internalized like knowledge base and like, answering questions and just like basically onboarding and then mass utilizing it for their entire corporate company.
Yeah.
Like that's like the biggest driver of like the usage. It's not
Yeah.
the everyday Joe Schmo user. Like the everyday Joe Schmo user consumption isn't nothing, but it's probably like, 1/10 to like, 1/10 to like 1/5 of the picture at best.
Yeah.
Most of it is going towards like company usage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have noted that a lot of people who complain about these things cannot tell the difference between AI and Photoshop.
That's true. Yeah.
Because so many times people have been like, why are you using AI? And I've looked at a picture and I'm like, that's not AI, that's Photoshop.
Yeah,
I've
they
also had to, my 8-year-old keeps on saying like, oh, this is AI. Oh, that's AI. And I'm like, kiddo, this was made before
Yeah.
this was made like 15
This was
years
made in
ago. That's
2004.
Photoshop.
Like when people say Dominion is AI. Because it came out in 2018. It's like AI sucks still to this day making videos. Like it can make tiny little short clips and maybe it can fool you in that short clip, but not a whole 2-hour movie.
Yeah, I mean,
from
this. I mean,
2018.
those are the areas where I think AI has problems. Is like because it eventually will become hyper realistic,
Yeah.
and eventually, and it already is happening today, where they're
There are some
using it as
moments.
like
Yeah.
they're using it as like psyop type shit to basically like mass push certain videos of like a certain nature out to like Instagram real followers that will be like, oh my god, blah blah blah, like all this shit, and they'll lose their minds over it and think that like a problem is occurring in mass in their country when in actuality it's just like a shit ton of AI. Because like you throw these like kinds of like hyper realistic AI videos at like a bunch of boomers, they're not gonna be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
They just can't. They
I
just
mean,
genuinely can't.
yeah, I don't know. I just feel, just to keep it back, I just feel it's okay to use AI and it's okay to use it for activism. I know that those that are running the show are evil, large corporations. But I feel like everything we buy is made by some large evil corporation, and it's fine to boycott because it is effective. But you do have to live, so that's where the practicable and possible comes in as well. I think that when I'm advocating, this tool is so helpful that I don't know if I could advocate as strongly without it. I think that I would be just handwriting cardboard signs standing on the street corner, and I wouldn't be able to come up with designs.
Yeah.
And that's
No,
fine,
I don't.
but I think this is actually a tool for those that are poor and don't have access to go for a degree in graphic design, right? And not all of us that want to advocate for others or to do stuff have money to pay other artists. And it's not that I don't think artists deserve to make an income. I just think that this tool is opening up information to people who don't have access to a lot of information. And that's where I find it very valuable. And I think it strengthens.
Yeah, no, I think like the relative use here versus like, again, the kind of like, because like it's like when people are using it to like as like a tool to like kind of like domineer or
right, to be oppressive
like
or to trick people like in a bad, harmful way.
Yeah, like all these like deceiving tactics. I think that's like among like the worst of the worst, or like smexually exploiting people, like putting their faces on others.
That's
like,
a big one that I do
There's-
think needs to be focused on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's all kinds of like really terrible, egregious components to it, and that's where it's like
I don't disagree.
It's hard. I get why people struggle with it, where it's like it's hard to support one end of it while not supporting the rest of it, because like like the side I support probably the most of it for would be like medical research, because we can replace so much like animal testing with this kind of like level of information processing AI affords.
It's going to be way more reliable.
Yeah. So like I think there's like certain avenues of it that are just like super amazing and fantastic, but then there's other avenues that are like, holy fuck, we're such terrible humans that we're the ones who invented this way to use it this way. And it sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question I want to ask as well. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think OD wanted to say something, but
just really quick because so D is asking to come back up, and he was reasonable before he just suddenly disappeared.
Right, he just dropped off.
very
Yeah,
quickly.
I see you, D.
I'm gonna drop because I'm receiving many requests to find things.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah. You got to do things. I got you. I appreciate you being up here, though. Thank you.
Yeah, people want me to source a lilac bush and also find a performer for a children's birthday.
Those are two different things there.
But they are also things I am very good at.
That's awesome.
So,
all right, well, we release you
I'm gonna
to
drop.
your ventures.
Okay.
All right,
Bye.
appreciate you
Bye,
being
everyone.
here. All right, see you later, Odd.
Right, I just want to ask a question because it's just tickling my brain as of now. So a lot of people, when I debate people, they always talk about how they have a certain vitamin deficiency or a health condition that strictly makes them have to eat meat. And I just want to know, like, is that actually a health condition that makes you strictly eat meat? Because it doesn't make sense to me, honestly. Like,
there's a couple that can come into play. I mean, the most prominent ones would be like Eslos disease, which is where your body doesn't endogenously produce cholesterol. Like cholesterol is required for your body to function. So like if someone cannot produce it endogenously because of that ailment, the only option that they have would be to take a medication, that has cholesterol in it. But the only way scientists currently can produce cholesterol is from animals. And then so they either have that or they have to consume like animal products of some kind. So that would be their two options under Eslos disease.
Eslos.
Thank you,
yeah, SLOS. And then like Brewer's syndrome, which causes like foods to ferment and basically turn to alcohol in the body, is also kind of debilitating to the same extent, where it might be possible if very, very, very carefully planned, but it depending on circumstances, availability, accessibility, the particularness of their Brewer syndrome, it might be like nigh impossible. So the best way to operate is just to understand that yeah, there's like a few niche examples. This literally represents like less than 0.5% of the general human population of people that could have something like this. So the vast majority of humans wouldn't be in these kinds of scenarios. And if they just want to explore like, well, what about a human with a condition where it could be necessary? I mean, you could just do like a basic Steelman where you examine what someone would do given an ailment like that and how to react accordingly in a vegan mindset to that kind of circumstance, which would just be to only consume what's necessary for you to be healthy and thrive in terms of animal products.
Yeah, thank you, Keith, for explaining as well. Appreciate it.
My often response is if I'm not really sure about their condition, because there's a lot of conditions out there, and we can't, unless we're not doctors, most of us. So I often will ask, if you didn't have that condition, do you think it's a moral obligation to be vegan? Or do you think those without your condition should live vegan? Just because then you can jump to the ethics and then you can come back to their ailment. And often I will be like, if you genuinely wanted to be vegan and this is an obstacle that you're trying to get over, there are still sources for you to go talk, like dietitians or whatever. And because I'm pretty sure you still could be vegan probably with cholesterol. But to Keith's point, like let's say you find out that you do have to end up taking this animal-based supplement because you're one of these rare people that do have that. You would look at every other aspect of your life that you could possibly remove animal products because you wanted to. So I always try to point that out.
Yeah, the tricky part is like, yeah, and this is why I'm like an advocate to a certain extent for like lab grown options, just because that would eventually like resolve that, even those are extremely like rare conditions, right, for the most part, or at least make them a better scenario. And yeah, the tricky part, like you can produce plant-based, plant sterols or plant-based like cholesterols, but the problem is when humans take plant-based cholesterols, it's actually a negative impact. It actually reduces your overall cholesterol. It doesn't help uptake and regulate your mammalian cholesterol requirements. So I was like wondering about that and looked into that as well. And yeah, there's not really
that would
much
suck
for that.
so much to like have that disease. I would not want to have that. So for those that do have that obstacle, man, I would reach out to dietitians, do the best you can, but it's about what you want to do, right? We're not here trying to pity you. It's more like, it does feel like you might have some work to try to get over that obstacle, but it's about what you want. Do you want to use animals? Are they here for you or with you? Right. And if you genuinely agree that they're here with you, you will do everything you can to avoid using them, and yes, there are individuals that might have to cross a principle, but the whole point is that we don't want to, and that we're going to do everything we can to avoid doing that. And we're going to demand options if they're not there. But D, you've been so patient. I did have a split second where I forgot I had you up there, and I'm really sorry.
No, it's okay.
I do appreciate you being
I got
here.
an alarm earlier. It was just I don't know what happened, but
Well, I'm glad it worked out that we got you back up here. I don't remember your last statement. I remember you made your statement and then your alarm popped on.
Oh no, I think we're talking about the ethics regarding killing animals.
Was it the fishing part?
No, we never talked about fish.
Okay, that was someone else. Somebody else.
Anyways, I mean, just to set the record straight, my stance is pretty simple. I just think eating meat is the most cost efficient and convenient way of, getting all your macro and micronutrients for a healthy and athletic body. My diet consists of around 80% meat, 10% carbs, and 10% fruit. And I don't eat any highly processed foods. So I was just wondering what you guys primarily eat regarding being vegan.
Yeah. I try to follow a whole food plant-based diet. Obviously, you saw me eating my vegan burger, but I don't know if you can actually see that. If you look up vegan Daily Dozen, oh, my thing does not want to show it. Well, basically, if you just look up vegan Daily Dozen, or if you go to nutritionfacts.org and you look up Daily Dozen, because that's what they call it, it just shows you the checklist of how to get everything you need on a whole food plant-based diet. And if you're worried about specifically protein, I would reach out to like the herbivore henchman. He's actually a bodybuilder that teaches other people how to be bodybuilders and how to do it on a whole food plant-based diet. There's also Brian Turner, and oh my gosh, I always remember his last name is Washington, but I did Terry. Was it Terry? Tori. Say it one more time.
Torre. Tori.
Okay, Tori. I always call him Terry. My bad. So Tori Washington, he is ripped, and I'm pretty sure he's also a coach. So
he's going to the Olympia this year.
Oh, damn, is he? Wow. Okay.
Like 50 years old or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, he's not a spring chicken.
He's been plant-based for like more than 26 years.
Wow.
Right. Well, like, why exactly are you guys vegan? I mean, I'm decently educated on veganism or whatnot, but I just don't see the point in, you guys obviously eat a bunch of vegan versions of food, as I heard some girl earlier talk about.
I got my vegan burger.
It's just in the most respectful way. It's all just a clump of just ultra processed shit.
That is, but you don't have to eat that.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. Eating meat is the most convenient way to get all your daily macro micronutrients.
I get everything I need, and it's very convenient. Like, I really don't have to do much. I'm very lazy.
I mean, sure. What do you mean by what do you mean when you mean convenient? What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Well, by convenient, I mean I don't need to get this long list of things, supplements, et cetera, to get all my nutrients. I could just get meat, which has most nutrients a human body needs.
Yeah,
that's basically what I eat. That's all I eat, and some fruit and carbs, and that's it. And sorry, you can speak.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so like the Daily Dozen, right? So the Daily Dozen to get like the vast majority of like your requirements health wise, here. So as it'll cover, I'll just pull it up here just to make it simple for both of us. So beans, strive for about like 3 servings per day of beans, 1 serving of berries, 3 servings of other fruits, 1 serving of a cruciferous vegetable such as like broccoli, 2 servings of like a green vegetable, leafy greens of some kind, like kale or collard greens or what have you. 2 vegetables, 2 servings of some vegetable like carrots or even like mushrooms. Doesn't have to be like a vegetable, but like mushrooms would be fine too. Flaxseed is always good to incorporate along with like nuts, nuts and seeds in general. Grains of some kind, so like whether that's like oats or rices or cereals. Some amount of like spices, typically ones that would be helpful for you, like, turmeric or cinnamon. Exercise, have some amount of exercise per day, and then, some kind of beverage, whether that's water, green tea, hibiscus, whatever, and then on top of that, you would want to take, vitamin B12 and then vitamin B. Like, those are kind of like the main recommendations. Like, the amount of like thinking you have to do to kind of like incorporate these things might be like upfront a little bit different from what you're doing right now, perhaps. But the incorporation of doing these things has like Longstead shown that it helps with achieving a healthful lifestyle without the exploitation of sentient beings. And typically they've even seen individuals following well-planned plant-based diets to have lower rates of all-cause mortality, lower rates of cancer, lower rates of heart disease, lower rates of...
those are... Sorry to cut you off, but those studies, they're all associative. There's no like solid proof.
Same with cigarettes. Like the way that we determine most things is through cohort studies when it comes to things that are habitually done by people. So whether that's food or smoking or alcohol, those things are typically associated by analyzing, a population following their trends of doing XYZ over time. So like, if you're just going to dismiss a cohort study because it's a cohort study, then you're going to dismiss a whole bunch of science in the process.
Yeah.
Well, we could go one thing at a time, but I mean, to start off, I don't see why you would rather do all that.
Let's just make this simple. Let's just make it simple. Assume for half a second, in a basic hypothetical, you could be totally healthy and thrive on a plant-based
I don't, honestly, I don't do hypotheticals when I debate, really. But
well, then this is going to be a pointless conversation, because like the point of this hypothetical is to make sure that we don't waste 18 hours of our time. So the basic hypothetical, the basic hypothetical is just simply assume in a basic hypothetical that you could be totally healthy and thrive on a plant-based diet. Meaning the only reason now to consume these animal products would be for a taste pleasure. Would you say that you should continue to consume these animal products for a taste pleasure?
No, and also I don't think you can be healthy on a plant-based diet.
That's the point of that hypothetical, right? You understand the importance of a hypothetical now?
Yes, but the thing is, I just disagree with the hypothetical. You can't be healthy long-term on a solely plant-based diet. You just can't.
Yeah, like what's the empirics behind that?
Well, convenience aside, you lack B12. Yeah, you said you take supplements, but the supplements are still ultra-processed, things that are lab-created. They are.
What's the process of making a B12 supplement?
I mean, I don't exactly know, but they involve...
Okay, then you don't have any skin in the game when it comes to making a statement that they're ultra-processed. They're minimally processed.
Okay, we could get into the other stuff, like broccoli, for example. You were talking about broccoli earlier. It's unhealthy as a bunch of anti-nutrients, as oxalates. They heavily reside in your system.
When they do analysis of people who consume cruciferous vegetables over a period of their life, and they statistically look at whether those people have better or worse long-term health outcomes, do they see better or worse long-term health outcomes for those consuming a consistent amount of cruciferous vegetables?
There's studies on both sides. They have anti-nutrients, and that's a fact, and they reside in the body, and they're not healthy.
No, sorry. When you say anti-nutrients, that's not a study that looks at long-term human health outcome data. You're talking about mechanistic data, which is only going to be speculative. It doesn't give us any kind of answer as to whether a person doing this over X period of time has actual negative or positive health outcomes from doing it.
Sure.
So what I would like from you is a study that shows people consuming cruciferous vegetables consistently show to have worse long-term health outcomes. Where's the study?
There is a study for that.
Great.
No, there isn't.
I'll pull it up in a second, but while I do that, I can talk about also the ethics regarding that. Instead of just doing all this, in my opinion, nonsense regarding supplementation and this long list of things you need to take to achieve.
Let me finish. The ethics of that. We just went over if it was only for a taste pleasure, you would say you should consume a plant-based diet. So what do you mean the ethics of it? We already broke that apart. You
didn't really let me finish, but I was talking about how you guys rather do this whole thing so you don't kill sentient beings like animals.
That's not. We're trying to avoid the exploitation.
You sound so flippant about it. It's just so you don't like schmurder anybody. Like
this isn't about unalivement specifically. It's about exploitation specifically. We're trying to avoid the direct exploitation of a sentient individual. We're trying to avoid their commodification, their use.
Yeah, you can avoid most, if not all, exploitation by purchasing at a local farm. That's exactly what I do.
No, sorry. You're talking about welfareism. You're not talking about exploitation. They're still being exploited directly. That's their purpose of being bred on. What's the purpose of raising a cow on that farm?
To kill it eventually.
Right. So they're going to be used as a particular commodity and resource. They are absolutely being 100% exploited for that purpose.
And almost every ecosystem on Earth depends on an animal like us consuming another living animal. Like, we've been part of nature for a real long time. We've evolved as omnivores.
Do you think that it's a positive thing to have mass animal agriculture globally?
Yes.
Okay, so you think that
with local farms,
what percentage of the hold on, let's check that. Like, what percentage of the global calorie supply comes from animal agriculture?
I don't know. Tell me.
17%. What percentage of the land use for all agriculture goes to animal agriculture?
Tell me.
80%. So we have something that's using 80% of the land, and we know that land use is the leading driver of species extinction globally in natural habitats. So we have something that is destroying the planet. It's the leading driver of the destruction of ecosystems. And you want more of that?
is not destroying the planet. It's the industry-based.
Sorry, you don't.
It's the
I literally asked
industry-based
you, do you think
killing
that
of
we
the.
should have more or less animal agriculture? And you
Yes,
said
and then
we should
expand on
keep
that.
it.
Local
Should we have
farms.
more or less of
That's
it?
my stance on it. We should have more of these, industrial settings where animals are placed in cages and they have 1 square foot of space to move around. And
Wait, so
we
you
feed
want them to have
shit.
more space to roam?
Yes, in a
So
sustainable manner.
you want to clear cut more land?
Sure.
Okay, so you want to cause more
my
species
God.
extinction.
It's not causing species extinction. What is
It
this
is.
based off?
It's what? Okay, what is the leading driver of species extinction globally?
Tell me.
Land use change. What's the leading driver of land use change?
Animals.
Animal agriculture.
Animals.
And that's again using it in the efficient route where we keep them in cages, we keep them in small scenarios, we keep the land use as minimal as possible for what's required for them to be raised and then slaughtered. The happy-go-lucky farms you're describing, right, where they have these larger pastures to roam around in, that requires more land. It requires on minimum about 2.5 times to 5 times the amount of land of what conventional animal agriculture requires. So you would need to use even more land than what we use right now, meaning the leading driver of species extinction is going to increase, exacerbate, not lessen.
There's plenty of other animals that are just not land-based. There's also fish that go into the mix. It's not all
Fish
land-based.
accounts for 1% of the global calorie supply. And we already fish 2 to 3 trillion marine animals out of the ocean every single year. And we're projected to have fishless oceans by 2050 at the current rate we're going. So no, we don't have more to work with. We're exhausting this planet to an egregious level that can't even be effectively measured at times. We are destroying this planet with these actions of animal agriculture and fishing.
There's so many other factors that are contributing to
Hold on. Okay,
arguments.
so D, I want to interrupt for a second, just kind of add on to what Keith is saying. So you said that you eat an 80% meat diet. Is that correct?
Yeah, roughly.
Okay. And so you are advocating now for small farms, right?
Yep.
And you're someone whose diet is literally 80% of animal flesh. How do you think the average person can get 80% of their diet to be animal flesh? Like, how do you think that demand can be met without industrial farming? Which I'm not saying that we should go to small scale farms, because the reason why industrial farming exists is because the small farms cannot keep up with the demand. So even by supporting the small farms and thinking that you're doing better welfare wise, you are still exploiting animals, and you are directly feeding into the need for there to be these giant agricultural industries, animal industries.
And mind you, the red that you're seeing here in red, this is the land that goes towards animal agriculture globally.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Responding to both of your points, both of these,
I didn't mute
ways. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe I might have muted myself on accident. But
you want to increase
listen,
this for the record.
Well, just give me 1 second. But yes, both of these.
Before you continue, I just want you to know what Keith is showing you, and then you can make your point, because I just
Oh,
want
sorry,
you
I
to
was
understand
not. I was not looking at.
this
I was
is
not
the
looking at
ag land
this.
use.
Red is animal agriculture land. The green is for crops grown to humans specifically. So this is what we're looking at right now. You want to increase the red on this map, just so you know. This is a desert. You can't increase it there. This is probably the only range of land that you could possibly do. And this is probably the only boreal forest left intact on planet Earth. You want to destroy that. And here's the Amazon rainforest. You would have to do, more to that than we've already done. So again, do you want to increase the red on this map? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you, both of these ways of eating contribute to global, destruction. It's just a matter of fact, my main thing that I care about. My main thing that I care about is convenience and health. That's what I care about.
So you don't actually care about the planet at all.
I do.
Your original claim on that was
points
wrong.
about the planet, and you don't actually care about the planet at all.
I do. I just try my
No,
best.
you don't, because you literally just said that you wanted the amount of red to increase. The red was the amount of land that was being used to feed farmed animals and to farm animals. Is that right, Keith? That it was for both, or was it just the land used for?
Well, so in the red is both the crops grown to feed livestock animals as well as the land used to raise them on. So that's areas that we're either, clear cutting to grow crops to feed them, or we're clear cutting to make room for them to walk around on, and in the process eliminate the land and ecosystem that once resided there for the animals that once inhabited it. So
And D wants to expand that amount. So
Okay,
clearly you don't care about the environment at all.
Let me rephrase. I obviously do not want meat to continue to, cause the destruction of the earth, as you guys are phrasing it. But what I'm saying is both of these sides of eating cause the destruction of earth. The matter that I'm like, that I stand by is that one is
This is
tenfold
just an
healthier than
appeal
the other.
to futility.
It's not. It's really not.
It
Like
is. It really is.
there's
It
lots.
it
like,
really is.
Listen,
See,
it's really not.
That's not the case. That's not the case at all. Again, like if we were to swap to a plant-based world, that red would virtually all go away because we actually need less total land for both crops and for obviously pasture land in a totally vegan world. Like the data pulled from that is pulled from a study called Reducing Food's Environmental Impact Through Producers and Consumers. It's the largest meta-analysis to date on this topic. So they analyzed data across 38,000 farms across 119 countries to extrapolate that data that you were seeing.
Could you repeat the study name?
Reducing Food's Environmental Impact Through Producers and Consumers. So the study is looking at a large swath of farms across 119 countries to extrapolate the data that we see from that. And we know from that study as well that, instead of our current metric, which utilizes 1.24 billion hectares of cropland and 2.89 billion hectares of pasture land, that's our current setup and makeup on planet Earth. In a plant-based world, when they were analyzing the dietary requirements and everything that would go into that, we would only need about 1 billion hectares for a plant-based world, right? So we need less cropland. We need none of that pasture land. That's all land that we could effectively rewild and return to natural ecosystems, aiding with these animals that are currently being decimated by animal agriculture.
Okay, but like I said, industrial meat production it has significant impact on the earth. Yes, I'm not arguing with you on that one. Like I agree with you.
Did you hear why it exists though?
That yes, I know it exists.
Why does intense farming exist?
To feed the population.
But why? Why don't they do it the right way?
It's not the right way. You're making this.
Do you think that factory farmers are like, what's the most evil way we can farm animals?
No, they're not.
Then what is wrong with factory farming?
With factory farming, I mean, it is the exploitation of the animals. Like I don't agree with
what's wrong with that?
1 foot. Well, they're still living, and they should have space to roam.
They're still feeling beings, and we should care about their experiences.
Right, but I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing that at all.
If we don't need to use them at all, and they want to live, and they don't want to be used, what moral justification do you have for using the ones that are even raised on the right farm?
Well, my moral justification is that we've been doing it since forever.
Slavery happened for hundreds of years.
I'm not talking about slavery. I'm talking about before.
Hold on. I just want to understand. Slavery happened for a long time, and that was your excuse just now. We've been doing it for a long time.
No. I was not referring to.
Does something being done for a long period of time make it not immoral anymore? Does it absolve it of its immorality just because we've been doing it a long time?
I would appreciate if I kept.
I will keep muting you unless you need to stop talking when I'm talking. You just keep rambling over, which tells me you're not listening.
I was not talking about slavery whatsoever.
I know you weren't. See, this is why you need to stop talking. Do you see why I keep muting you?
The reason she's using that is the explanation is that the principled layout of the argument is exactly the same. It's just changing the variable, right? So XYZ is justified by the duration of time in which we've been doing it. So you would say XYZ in this case is animal agriculture or just exploiting animals for consumption purposes or whatever. That is just simply justified by the duration of time in which we've been doing it. So by that same metric, someone else could come along and say, oh, well then chicken fighting is justified or slavery is justified or a number of other things that you would also say are unjustifiable are now suddenly justified because they've happened for a long time.
No, that's well. The thing is, all right. Listen, this is about the actual conversation
Oh,
we're
you better
having.
listen to
I
him.
can't
He's not
finish
going to
any
listen to
point.
you, but
Listen,
you
I
better
can't
listen to
finish.
him. He's not going to listen to you, but you better listen to him. Yeah, D, I'm getting really annoyed with you. Stop interrupting.
Yeah, I mean, the
You
point is
talk
like
over
you're in
people,
the middle of a
D.
contradiction in your viewpoint. You're saying that things both are and are not. It's a P and not P. It's a contradiction. It's a logical contradiction right now where things are and are not justified by the duration of time in which we've been doing them for. So is it the case that something is just simply justified by the duration of time it's been happening for or not? That's the question you need to answer.
It's not justified. I was saying that
Okay,
from
then
the
move to
beginning
a
of
different
time, from the
justification.
first day of human, the first day a human was a human, we've been doing it. I'm not talking about the duration of time. I'm
So
talking about
the
the actual
length of
start
time
of time.
doesn't
We've been doing
matter,
this.
but we've
That
been
is the
doing it
duration of
forever.
time. That is the duration of time.
It's not,
Otherwise,
but it
you're
is.
making
That's
like the only other thing I can infer from that statement is you're making a statement that it's required for human health to consume animal products, and that can be logically consistent if it was actually true. But when we look at the empirical evidence that has analyzed that hypothesis, because that's all that anthropology is going to tell us. Anthropology can tell us that humans did XYZ for a long time. The actual follow-up studies in the field of, say, like nutrition science would put that to the test and confirm whether or not it's required for us to be healthy and thrive to consume animal products. And we know very clearly at this point that that's not a requirement. So, that's out the window, meaning the only thing left at that point for that argument is the duration of time sentiment. And you've already explained that the duration of time we've done something for doesn't justify things. We've also been effectively graping others for the duration of the human existence. That doesn't mean that grape is now suddenly justified because we've been doing it for a long time or since our inception.
okay. We can move away from the duration of time. We aren't we're not made to eat certain plants. I think we're made to just eat mostly meat, seasonal fruit, and some carbs. So I don't agree with you
Made?
regarding that. It's been what?
You said made. That we're made that way?
What
We're
do you
not
mean?
made that way. You mean evolve?
Evolved that way.
Oh,
Yes, that's what I meant.
Again, this is just like another
It's not
anthropological.
disproven. I would love
Well,
for you to
no,
give me the studies regarding how it's been disproven that we can survive and thrive on other diets like the one
yeah,
that
the
you
main
advocate
study to
for.
point to would be the position paper from the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. It's a large position paper comprised of close to 117 studies, many of those studies themselves being meta-analysis and or systematic reviews. And through that, and mind you, it's not even just like purely cohort, there's mechanistic studies as well incorporated into that. But yeah, the evidence is from that study, and the statement from that academy is verbatim: a well-planned plant-based diet is adequate at all stages of the human life cycle. So it's not a requirement for us to consume animal products in order to be healthy, right?
Okay. Tell me, what do you eat? What's your day look like?
Yeah, it depends on the day. Like some people
Just an
might,
average day.
yeah. If like you wanted like I don't know like
Like what he
a
eats
simple
or what he does?
Yeah, just what you eat.
Oh.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like that would probably be something like like oatmeal in the morning. Might incorporate some like chia seeds or like flax seeds, some like berries or nuts. You might incorporate like some kind of like supplement alongside that at the time, like depending on what you're doing. Like if you're someone who's like interested in say like doing bodybuilding or something like that, then yeah, you might like incorporate like some protein powder to up the protein quantity, or you might add creatine or something else like that to make it a bit better on that front. But yeah, if you're not like hyper fixated on that stuff, it's not necessary. And then for like lunch, you might have like a protein like grain bowl of some kind. So like incorporating like amaranth or like quinoa or even just like rice and lentils, having some like beans, sweet potatoes, leafy greens of some kind, add some kind of like dressing, which can be like, like lemon juice and nutritional yeast, tahini, etc. Might have like a snack of like, I don't know, like pretzels or popcorn or something more substantial if I want something like denser in calories or whatever, or protein. There's like soy curls that you can basically like coat in seasoning to make them kind of actually taste like jerky.
I love
So people-
making soy the soy curls. I love making soy curl jerky. It's so good.
Yeah. And then for like, you know, like like an evening meal might be something like, you know, either like super firm tofu or tempeh with some like broccoli, like lentil pasta, add some, you know, again, like seasonings and marinades, hot sauce, whatever. You know, all these things, like on average, like most of my meals, like, you know, minimum, like try to strive for like 20 grams of protein per meal, but typically like go into like the realm of like 40 to 60 grams per meal. Just kind of depends on the day and what I'm going for. And also like, you know, if I'm like undercutting by a certain amount and I want to just incorporate a bit more, you know, you might have like either like a protein bar or you might have like a protein shake or whatever. Like it just kind of depends on the day.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, okay, Dee, I want to ask you a question because
Go on.
you're focusing really intensely on diet, and I want to make sure that it's clear that veganism itself is not a diet.
Yeah, I understand it's regarding the ethics of unaliving sentient beings, yes.
It's veganism is against the exploitation, the unnecessary exploitation of sentient beings.
Sure.
So do you understand what it means to exploit someone?
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
I just think to an
Do you
extent,
mind just clarifying for me?
well, exploitation can be, you know, utilizing other things to your own benefit.
Yes, the unfair use of others for your own benefit. Yeah, so we're saying that that's wrong.
I understand
Do you think that it's right or wrong to unfairly use someone for your own benefit?
to an extent.
Okay. So you're saying
that's
that
my
it is
response.
okay
Like,
to exploit someone to an extent.
It depends on the situation. Like what we're talking about regarding, sure, you can argue that local farms is still to an extent an exploitation of, for example, cows. But I would argue that I think that is necessary. Then I think that would be the best course instead of.
Well,
for
it's not
example,
really necessary though. It's not necessary to do that. You don't have to do it. You're choosing to do it. You're choosing to have your diet be 80% meat when you don't have to do that. You are
Why do you
choosing
say
that.
all right? Why do you say you don't have to? Like you can
Because
survive
you literally
on
don't.
you can survive on a plant-based diet, yes, but you're
And
gonna
you can
feel like
absolutely thrive on a plant-based diet as
you
well.
definitely cannot
And again,
thrive on a plant-based
veganism
diet.
itself is not a diet. Veganism itself is not a diet. It's a stance against the exploitation of others, unnecessary exploitation of others.
I understand that, but when we're going to talk about the exploitation of others, in this case, animals, it's obviously going to get into the actual diet because that's a big part of why people.
It doesn't have to.
Actually, doesn't have to. Yes, it doesn't have to, but for
Because we're not your
large
mommy.
part of.
We're not here to tell you how to live your life. We're here to say we think you agree with us that you shouldn't exploit others when it's avoidable and your moral fly is open. You're using others when it's against your own principle. That's what we're saying.
That's why I understand. That's why I'm arguing that it's not avoidable. That's why I said I think
It
to an
is.
extent
There's
it
a
is.
lot of it that is.
Some of it, yeah, but
No,
like
okay,
I
look,
agree with.
D, it doesn't matter. When you have an opportunity presented in front of you and it's animal versus non-animal, that's what we're talking about. Or when it's just animal and you can go without. That's what we're talking about. You
I'm choosing
have
animal all
options.
day.
You have privilege. You get to go to a grocery store. You just move your hand or walk down a different aisle and you're crying like this huge world is going to crash down on you. Like, I don't understand why you're so resistant. Do you think that it's moral for me to kick a dog for my exercise because it's convenient and fun?
No, it's not.
Why? I'm getting exercise. I'm gaining a benefit. I'm human. I'm superior. What's wrong with me kicking a dog for my entertainment and exercise?
Because that's just a really stupid comparison.
You're
I'm
not
saying
answering
it
it.
is.
You're just putting it down.
Okay.
Why is it
All right,
bad?
go on.
Why is it bad?
It's bad because you're not even exploiting it. Like you're not even getting anything to your
I
benefit.
just
You're not
told you
actually
I'm getting
exercising.
exercise and joy. That's what you get out of what you use other animals for. You get nutrition and you get pleasure. So I get exercise and pleasure.
So you're comparing joy to
You're focused on the question.
essential.
Why don't you answer it? Why don't you answer it?
What
it
is the question
moral-
exactly?
Is it moral for me to kick the dog for my exercise and joy?
No, it's not moral.
Why?
Because you're not. It's not moral because it's a living thing. You're just hurting it for no reason. Like you generally just doing it
Exactly.
for no reason.
I'm harming them for no reason. Just for my joy? just
There
for my
is a reason.
exercise,
There
can I
is a
go?
reason.
Can I go kick something else?
There is a reason.
Can
And
I
also
go kick
it's
something else? D, I'm gonna drop you.
no,
You clearly
you
are
can't
just
kick.
you're just a slippery slime ball, and I just don't want to talk to you
Yeah,
anymore.
he is.
I
He
mean,
is.
like again, we shouldn't even have like he should just be like on board with that completely because like again, the earlier question to him and that basic hypothetical is like assuming you can be healthy and thrive without exploiting these sentient beings, would you do it? And he was like, yeah, I would do it at that point. It's like, okay, so like the only thing holding you back is the empirical evidence, and like I answered that as well as like, how do you know that you can be healthy and thrive? Like, here's the largest
Again,
dietetic body
that's
explaining that.
you're holding his hand, and you're doing a lot for him, and it's actually very
Yeah.
sweet.
You're doing all the work for him.
Yeah. Oh.
And
Uh-oh.
he was
Live
just listening
restricted
because he
some
kept over
audience.
talking.
Your live contains themes that may be found uncomfortable and have been restricted. Oh, that last person was crying. They said I was bullying them. Oh, I hurt their feelings.
What I will say is though
Oh,
is
that
he's a very
whiner.
selfish person. I will say it sounds very selfish because it's always about him talking about cost, nutrition. It's always about what's cheaper for him, what's better for him, what's better for the human race as well. It's very selfish, and I don't think if I'm being very honest, I don't think he will ever resort to veganism because he just thinks about himself. It's not about other animals. It's not about non-human animals. It's
You literally
about
kept
him.
pivoting back to that. You're totally right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. He kept saying it's not
He
convenient.
wasn't listening. He wasn't listening to you, Anna, or Keith. He kept over talking, which was messing things up.
Yeah. And like I get it. I talk over people sometimes, and it's because I kind of know where they're going. But it's when they do it and they don't know where we're going, that's when it gets frustrating. It's like it's fine that you're like energized in the conversation. It happens. But if you don't genuinely know where I'm going, stop it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Keith. Sorry.
It's always like, it's ridiculous to me that like we'll have, something that is like effectively a moral crisis happening in our world today. And we had the same kind of like relative discussion, years ago, like over like 200 years ago with, trying to abolish slavery, and the exact same principles were applied there. Like, and it's like no one ever picked up a history book to like realize or analyze what were the things that they were saying about like ending slavery, even at like the cost of like mild inconvenience or some profit being lost.
Yep.
Or like, oh, our traditions are going to be impacted. Literally go read Abraham Lincoln's message to Congress about slavery in the 1860s, where he says pretty much verbatim that like in a time of moral crisis, dollars can't outweigh our principles. So if slavery is wrong, nothing in the world can make it right. Not profit, not tradition, not convenience.
That is awesome. I'm gonna write that down so I can go look it up and I can maybe quote it. That's an awesome reference.
Yeah, it's just it like half of these people like just genuinely haven't like they I don't know, their teachers told them slavery is wrong and like they just accept it as wrong based off of like that. They never like actually look into these things to like it's not like actually analyzing to see why it's wrong or what would be inherently wrong about doing this to an individual, regardless of their intelligence or capabilities or whatever. Like we would still see it wrong to enslave another human. So like, why is it suddenly okay to just like flippantly do it to a non-human animal? Like, especially without necessity behind it. Like, oh, well, I might gain like 3 grams more of muscle per year eating meat. It's like, who gives a fuck, dude? No one gives a shit.
I mean, slave owners were like, I get to make more money when I don't have to pay for my labor.
Yeah.
That definitely gives them an edge on the competition.
Yeah, exactly.
I lost it when he talks about having animals having more space to roam. I lost it there. Can't lie. Like,
I know,
didn't-
right? Like, you're talking about the environment and you want to increase the use of our land? Oh my God.
I mean, I literally pulled
the whole
up the
thing
map. I
on
pulled up the
fire.
map.
Let's just torch the whole freaking thing, because that's the way it's headed.
I pulled up the goddamn map. You can't even barely see any.
I was going to
space
say that map
isn't-
is terrifying to see, to be honest.
You basically can't even see space that isn't red right now, and you're like, so you think we should increase the red?
Expand it.
Yeah, we should increase it. Oh, cool.
All right, so you're just up here to fight. You're not up here to actually exchange ideas.
Because his opening like dissertation was like, I think it's better for human health and the environment. That was like one of his core arguments.
He did.
And like when we actually dug into that, he just like completely fell apart on that point.
Oh yeah, he went
And
back
then when
to
it came,
convenience and cost.
yeah, and when we got to health, it was also like a similar
yeah.
situation where it's like he fell apart, didn't have anything to go off of other than anti-nutrients, and it's like, dude, anti-nutrients are not effectively going to decimate your health, and most anti-nutrients like lectins are cooked out through the cooking process.
Yeah,
like we're not here eating like raw soybeans in the most scenarios. We're in most cases we're eating like double cooked because they first get cooked
tofu.
producing, let's say, like tofu,
exactly,
and then they get cooked again later. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I believe it was on nutritionfacts.org. They actually did a video on luteins, right? I believe it was lutein in the beans, right? He did a
lectins. I think.
Lectins. No, was it lectins? I think it was lectins. Whatever's in beans specifically. I think it was lectins.
Yeah.
What was the thing? The anti-nutrient you were just talking about?
Lectins.
Oh, it was lectins. Oh, right. Those are in dark leafy greens. Dark
There's
leafy greens.
phytates, lectins, tannins, and saponins are the four.
Okay. Well, Dr. Gregor's did a video on one of those, and it was something like those that eat the most of it, even though we cook it out, live the longest. I'm sorry, Lori. I kept talking over you.
Like, if this was like the case, I want to like pull up the study here, but basically there's like a long cohort study that found that lentil consumption, or sorry, legume consumption is the highest associated predictor of longevity in humans. Like the consistent consumption of legumes is the strongest predictor of that. So like, eat your damn beans.
Eat your damn beans.
Right? You might go to the bathroom more than once a week.
Yeah. I mean, I have a sticker that says that I'm vegan. I poop at least 3 times a day. And that varies between people, but at least daily.
Exactly. That's what we're supposed to do, because the stuff ferments, and that's how you get colorectal cancer and other cancers.
Exactly. You need that fiber to grab everything and pull it out of you.
I just found it. So the study is called legumes, the most important dietary predictor of survival in older people of different ethnicities.
There you go.
So
beans are where it's at. Fountain of youth is actually just a bunch of beans.
Pretty much, honestly.
Oh, that's a good one.
Just throwing just in a pool of them.
There you go. Have your guy make a fountain of beans.
That's a good idea.
Beans
just like
behind
a fountain of beans. Yes, I'm gonna talk to him.
Proportional, based on the alternative Cox proportional hazard model, adjusted to age at enrollment in 5-year intervals, gender, and smoking, the legume food group showed 7 to 8% reduction in mortality hazard ratio for every 20-gram increase of daily intake, with or without controlling for ethnicity. Just
wow.
Eat your damn beans.
Eat your damn beans. That's definitely what I learned today. I have someone requesting, and I see them commenting in the chat. Should I bring them up?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do it. Come on up. I mean, I have a violation on me, so we're probably going to have a huge slowdown right now. Hey.
What I will say is that I do have to go right now,
okay.
but it was nice meeting you via cell.
I really appreciate you coming up. Yeah.
Please, Sahar.
I need to speak a lot more soon. I need to speak a lot more soon because I'm trying to do some activism.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes I can't really conversate because I do have some like difficulty explaining myself, so I don't try to speak. But I am trying to improve it. Get out of my bubble. Yeah.
The only way to break over that is just by talking. And you can take your time up here. I'm patient with the vegans. That's totally. I don't always have my thoughts arranged neatly, so I am definitely patient with other vegans. I do get a little impatient with non-vegans when they're being snippy, and then maybe they're taking a little longer, but I don't mind if vegans take a second. That's totally cool.
All right, thank you very much. You all have a nice day. You too, Lori.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
See ya. Oh wow, hold on. Whoa, I don't know what an ARS is. What is ARS? Juan Lopez just gave me $200 ARS. And I say dollars, I don't know what ARS is the currency. What? Oh, I thought okay. Veganism is not a diet, but in some way comprehends dietary restrictions. I think that is
Ar-
why. Oh, did I say something?
Argentinian peso. It looks like
ARS.
Yeah.
ARS. Oh, okay. A peso. Argentinian. I've never heard of that currency, so I definitely learned something today. I think
Is
that. Oh,
200 a lot of them?
say it again.
It looks if it was 200 Argentine pesos, then that's 14 cents US.
No,
If it was,
well, you know what? I don't care. That's a big number.
yeah,
Thank you so much for the
it
200
perhaps is a
ARS.
lot to them. So who knows?
Yeah. You know what? That's a good way to do like donations if you do them in another currency, and you can make it look so big. That's not a bad idea. Let's see. I think that is why some people can't stick to it in a practical sense long term. A humble opinion. I'm vegan. I'm sorry for my English. Best wishes. Let's see. I'm going to read the first part again. Veganism is not a diet, but in some ways it comprehends dietary restrictions. I think that is why some people can't stick to it in a practical sense. Well, so I understand that we have a lot of habits and that some of those habits are from when we're really young. And that's fine. What I'm saying is once you realize you don't want to support something, you'll figure it out how to not support it, right? If you're motivated and you definitely don't want to support something, you'll look for options, right? So that's why when people are saying I have this dietary issue, I'm more in the mindset of like, well, I'm not here to tell you how to eat. I'm here to say animals are sentient, just like you and I. And how would you feel if you were the victim about to lose your life because somebody doesn't want to take the time to figure out the alternative? How would you feel? You'd be like, fuck you, take the time. Take the time to not use me. Please figure out how to not use me. That would be my preference, at least. So that's what I tell other people. But I hear you, and I'm not blind to people having obstacles. It's more like your motivations. Your motivations should be for the animals. Just like if it were you, if you were the one in the cage, our motivations about your exploitation would be focused on your experiences and what you want, your best interests, not your oppressor's best interests, right? But I appreciate the comment, really. And I actually think it was fun that you put it as the pesos. That was funny. I like that. Yeah, someone else did the math too. Was it 70 something cents? I saw it and then it slid by me. Where'd it go? There it is. Argentino peso, just as you said, 0.00072 cents.
I think that's just for 1 peso. But
Oh,
yeah.
that's 1 peso. Oh, got it. I was going to say, what?
Yeah, it's for 200 pesos Argentine. That's 14 cents US.
Got it. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That was fun. Let's see. Were there any other?
14.4, if my math holds up.
Say it one more time.
14.4 cents.
Oh,
If my
okay.
math is right.
We want to get all of those in there. So 14.4. Thank you so much. And that was now that I haven't said their name in a long time. Juan Lopez, VF3MO. So thank you for that. All right. It was that guy. How you doing?
Good, how are you? Is my audio okay?
It's a little it's a little hard to understand you, but I can hear you. Are you?
My headphones get weird sometimes. Let me change my headphone. That usually does the trick. Just give
Okay,
me 2
gotcha.
seconds.
Yeah, thanks. I will the real Meebo. Spend it wisely.
Is this any better?
Yes, that's much better actually.
Awesome.
Awesome. So, are you vegan?
No.
Okay. And you're over 18, right?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
30 something, 30,
Cool. Right
33, 34.
Right on. So why aren't you vegan yet?
I don't see any reason to be.
Real quick, what is veganism? More importantly,
Hearing your explanation, I would say that it's a diet that consists of 0 animal products, but you guys are saying that it's just a diet that's non-exploitative of other
it's not a diet at all. It implies making considerations and consolidations when it comes to like your diet, hygiene, clothing, cosmetics, like all avenues of life, really. But yeah, it would be an ethical stance against the needless exploitation of sentient beings where it's possible and practicable.
Okay, so is it possible to be vegan and eat meat?
In an extreme scenario where someone is completely reliant in order to stay alive, yeah.
What if I across the street I see I see a fish jump out of water and I pick it up and eat it for dinner?
No, that wouldn't. That would be like if I saw like a human jump to their unalivement, I wouldn't pick them up and eat them just flippantly. I would still try to respect their, you know, whether they're sentient right now or prior. I would respect their capacity for sentience effectively.
Even just to be clear, even if that capacity for sentience is definitively concluded.
Yeah, just like how I wouldn't do that to a human again. Unless I had to. Like I don't look at the people in the Andes Mountains that ate other humans in that plane crash as being, doing something like, absolutely egregious and terrible. I would still consider it wrong, right? But I would say that what they did was justified. Like you can still do something that's wrong, but have it be justified is kind of the idea here. But I would still look at, using and commodifying someone who especially is currently sentient or held the capacity for sentience and that no longer exists within them. I wouldn't try to commodify or see them as a resource, especially because that can it's a bit of a slippery slope fallacy statement here, but I think it overall can lead to a mindset where we view more and more situations, even while they are still currently sentient, as now being justifiable to exploit them.
Interesting. So I've got kind of two different directions I would go with that.
I mean, obviously that's not like what you're eating for dinner right now, right? You're not just eating a fish that jumped out of the water anyways, I assume.
Sure. Again, I'm just trying to clarify your philosophy. So two things, you can pick which one you would rather engage with. I would argue that it's not inherently exploitative to farm, hunt, fish. It certainly can be, and in many instances is, but I don't think that it's inherently exploitative to consume animal products.
Well,
also,
exploitation is just going to be just to clarify. Exploitation is just going to be intentionally using or controlling a sentient being for our benefit in a way where we're essentially kind of subordinating that being's interest to our own goals. So you can have exploitation that could be necessary and justifiable, and then you would have exploitation that is, not necessary and not justifiable.
And this is a moral standpoint.
Yeah, that's the position of veganism. It's again opposing exploitation where possible and practicable, morally or ethically speaking.
So are lions, dogs, other carnivores inherently evil?
We could look at the action as wrong, but we would also look at the situation as not being possible or practicable for them to choose otherwise. And on top of that, they're not moral agents capable of rationalizing their decisions. So we're not going to hold them to the same standard that you and I would. Just like how if a toddler or a person with severe mental disabilities, did something terrible to another human, I wouldn't be like, well, it's okay for me to repeat that action simply because they did it, right?
So given that, in what sense is it wrong?
Sorry, what?
In what sense is it wrong then if they're not moral agents and can't make decisions and it's just them?
Oh, it's wrong for the individual who's been harmed by them, right? We can still elicit the idea that from the perspective of the gazelle or whatever animal that gets harmed by them, it's not a great experience. It's still, in terms of valence states, it's not a neutral situation and it's not a positive situation for them. It's a negative situation for them. So in terms of just general valence, I would recognize that it's a negative thing for them, and for them it's wrong. But for the animal that's reliant on consuming animal products in order for them to stay alive, and also for the general upkeep of the ecosystem, we could deem that as almost a necessity for planet Earth to keep operating. If I had a magic wand that could cause all carnivoristic animals to magically not do that while maintaining the health of our ecosystems globally, sure, I'd wave that wand. But A, we don't have that wand, and B, we don't really have any other mechanisms in which we could cleanly, quote unquote, stop these things from happening in the wild. The most you could ever get me to agree on would be a sentiment if you saw some animal being harmed by another animal in front of you, perhaps in that scenario you might have some onus to step in and try to help. but that's about it. You're in terms of like all you're going to get me to like agree on when it comes to that. The core thing is like veganism isn't like it's not like this position of like how to serve justice to others. It's simply a guidance for how you personally should act. So like regardless of how someone else acts, we wouldn't use their actions to justify our own, right?
Sure.
Right. So we don't like really need to entail how we would resolve like carnivoristic animals or anything like that. We just need to analyze how we ourselves should be behaving, because like animals do all kinds of heinous things. Like they can grape, they can unalive their young, they can chop each other's heads off, whatever. Like we
Sure.
wouldn't really view those things as being acceptable for any of us to do, though. So yeah, like what would be the objection to like being vegan then at that point?
Well, I don't care what you do. You can do whatever you want.
No, sorry. I mean the objection to you not being vegan, I guess.
Oh, again, I see.
You cut out.
Maybe you got a phone call.
Yeah, if you got a phone call or something, we can't hear you while you're out.
Hold on, am I back? You hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened. Sorry, I would say that it is natural. Humans, I think, are omnivores. We evolved to eat both meat and plants. Like, I think it's natural and more easily healthy. I heard with the previous guest you were discussing, God, how many grams of legumes or quinoa, chia seeds you need to eat. I don't know. It's I think just a lot easier to.
The general suggestions provided there are no different than say like the food pyramid or my plate. There's no difference there. It's the same. Like once you like understand the gist of how to follow it, it's not difficult. But like most people don't like need to look at the food pyramid to kind of like know what to generally kind of eat in a day. It's just like a general guidance to make sure you're mostly on track. You don't have to eat like exactly 3 servings of beans per day to be a healthy vegan or whatever. Those are just like general guidelines for someone to follow who's like brand new and just needs like a little bit of like help along the way. But like same question to him as I'll give to you is just assume you can be totally healthy and thrive on a plant-based diet. Would you say that you should now be vegan? Because like in that scenario, the only reason would be for like a taste pleasure.
Oh yeah, I like the way meat tastes.
Okay, so you think justifying the exploitation of these sentient beings can be justified purely with like a personal pleasure?
I again do not believe it's fundamentally exploitative necessarily.
Well, again, then what's your definition of exploitation? Because the definition I laid out would definitely imply it's fundamental to it.
Give me your definition one more time.
Yeah,
Please.
So it's intentionally using or controlling a sentient being for our own purpose in a way where we're subordinating them and their interests to our goals, whatever those goals happen to be. Like those goals might be justified or those goals might not be justified. So you could have exploitation of an animal in order to survive. Like say you got thrown into the Arctic tundra and the only way to stay alive was to eat some fish while you tried to make your way back to civilization. I would say that's reasonably meaningfully justified exploitation. Whereas someone who is exploiting a dog and like kicking a dog for personal pleasure and enjoyment because they think it's fun, I don't think that's justified exploitation.
Is it exploitative when I ask my daughter to do dishes?
No.
But I'm controlling a sentient being for my own benefit, no?
Yeah, but she has the option to assent. She can decline your request, or she can accept the request. There's no relative meaningful valenced option when it comes to these non-human animals. Like we can't ask a cow like, hey, Mr. Cow, is it okay for me to slice off your head and consume your corpse, at the age of 2 years old?
Excellent point. Speaking of, how do you define sentience?
Yeah, sentience is just the capacity for a being to have like a subjective experience. So like the ability for
you think that a cow has that, or a fish?
Yes, they do.
Why do you say that?
Because it's been validated in countless animal studies. It's why we have the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness, the New York Declaration of Consciousness, and other declarations of consciousness where we've included these exact animals. So I think denying that these animals are sentient would be denying the overwhelming like psychological like animal psychology and other psychology studies we've done, it would almost be like denying that humans that can't communicate are also not sentient. And I think that would also be egregious.
Depending on the reason you can't communicate, if you're in a coma, I'd say you're not.
No, I mean, like, say, like a person born with a noncephaly.
Wait. I just want to be clear. Are you saying it's okay to exploit people in comas?
I'm saying they're not sentient.
People
but it's not
do
okay.
abuse
like,
them.
Just answer that question. Is it okay to exploit them?
People abuse lots of people. That's
No, I'm asking you about your morals, not about reality. This is the Izzat fallacy. I want to know your morals. Do you think it's right for people to use people in comas for sexual gratification?
No, I wouldn't say that it's right to exploit an animal.
No, not an animal. Someone in a coma.
No, I don't think that exploitation is right in any circumstance, whether it's a human, an animal.
You just said, though, if they're conscious, and I just wanted to make sure we were clear on that.
Sentience. We're talking about sentience.
I mean, they're still sentient when they're in a coma. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. I know a lot of people like to argue of whether someone's asleep or not, if they're conscious or if they're sentient in that moment. But I would argue they are. They're still, their brain is still processing information. They're still thinking. Sorry, go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like, again, so like, assuming, like, let's just entail for a moment, like, you've analyzed the data from the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness and you agree that cows are sentient. And also in the same breath, a part of this hypothetical, it's also entailed that that you don't need to consume this cow in order to be healthy and thrive. Like, you could do it fully plant-based. And now the only reason that you're causing, this exploitation towards this sentient individual is purely for a taste pleasure or mild inconvenience. Do you think that that's valid?
I understand your argument. I would still say that it's not inherently exploitative. And if I may, I'd like to...
Okay, then you'll need to give me your definition of exploitation, because I don't understand.
I'm fine with the definition of...
the one I gave?
Yeah, it was...
Okay, so again, exploitation would be intentionally using or controlling a sentient being to our goals that subordinates them. So how is doing the unaliving, chopping off the head of an animal who's totally healthy and fine, how is it the case that doing that to them is not exploitative when our reason for doing it is especially for our personal goals? And especially, how is that exploitation then justified when the goal in question is for trivial pleasure or mild inconvenience?
Yeah, I was right about to respond to that. May I have a moment to illustrate my point?
Well, yeah, I've been waiting for that.
Yeah, I was literally asking for it. So I'm a leather worker. I've been working leather for like 15-ish years. I don't know, it's how I make my living. It's what I'm doing right now. When I pull out a hide, on the hips and shoulders, you'll see a lot of times these barbed wire scratches on the hips and shoulders. That's where you'll find like bug bites and stuff. I love every single hide. They're gorgeous. They tell me a story. When I see these barbed wire scars on the hips of a hide, I think about this happy cow sitting in the sunshine in Montana, and it's got these stupid bug bites, these horsefly bites, these mosquito bites, and walks all the way to the corner of the property to find that post with that wire on it, and just gets in there and just digs into it, just scratches that itch, chewing grass, sitting under the Montana sun, breathing fresh air, the same air.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, are you justifying slavery right now?
I'm sorry?
Are you justifying enslaving someone right now because they enjoyed scratching their butt somewhere?
I believe I asked for a moment to illustrate my point.
Oh, that doesn't work here. That doesn't work here. So we're going to have a conversation. If you
illustrating your point can be like done. Yeah, like we're just looking for the justification. Like, what is the justification at that point?
I was
like
right about to get there. May I have a moment?
Yeah, just get to the point.
So that cow was born for the purpose of becoming a hamburger and whatever, the belt I'm making. It was fed, cared for.
So you are defending human slavery.
So wait, is the innate action of what they were designated to by the exploiters' goals and interests is what makes it not exploitation?
The cow is living a
Sorry,
life
no,
that it
hold on,
wouldn't
really quickly.
if not for
You're
the
saying,
hamburger.
hold on. I gave you that definition of exploitation very distinctly because this definition of exploitation can be applied to both, human animals and non-human animals. It's just about sentient beings being exploited. So do you think if a human was put in the same scenario and the exploiters who put them in that scenario designated that their purpose was to be turned into like a handbag and be turned into like a human burger, that now makes it not exploitation?
So the cow's living the same life it would live if it was, not bred.
Right. Someone could give the same life to a human that was quote unquote not bred.
Oh no, I don't think that slavery is comparable to not
So
slavery.
Because it's
I
inconvenient
wouldn't
to
say
your
that
argument.
domestication is comparable to wilderness.
Sorry. First of all, it's not comparable because that's not the life of an Arok. The Arok is extinct now, so like you don't even have the option of like visibly understanding what they lived in terms of their lives prior to humans turning them into the modern day cow. And secondly, yeah, that's not innately what their life would be, where they just roam a pasture and like scratch their butt on a post. They also have like their care for their herd and like their own life. They don't want these things taken from them or exploited. So again, if I say like have like, we can make the claim that
would he like it if they were dogs? Exactly. You went right.
Yeah, I was going to say dogs can do things like, get in fights with other dogs, and they will do that naturally. So if I'm someone who breeds dogs for the purpose of dog fighting rings, and I just, I raise them super kind and super generous for the first like 2 or 3 years of their life, and then I just submit them to one bad dog fight, and that's it, and then it's over, right? Does that mean I'm justified because I say, oh, well, at some point in their life, the dog was going to get in a tussle anyways, so I'm just doing what they would have done naturally. Does that mean I'm justified and that's not exploitative, what I've done?
Do you believe that fighting dogs live a perfectly happy and healthy and normal caring
No,
life?
Do you think that my example is justified?
Well, I don't think your example is realistic, but
it doesn't
I
matter.
will say
It doesn't matter if it's realistic to what people typically do with fighting dogs. I'm asking you, this is the scenario. Is that exploitative? Yes or no?
Sure, yeah, but I'd say that the difference is
then that's completely crossing over what we just went over. You're saying that the innate action of raising someone for a particular purpose is not exploitative, and it is exploitative. It's P and not P. You're in a contradiction right now where the cow has a purpose. If the humans raise a cow for a particular purpose, then that is not exploitation. If the humans raise a dog for a particular purpose, that is exploitation. You're again in a contradiction right now.
The difference is suffering. Is my audio still working?
Wait, so if I don't if I make it so that the dog doesn't suffer while they're in the dog fight, it's now okay?
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
Oh my fucking god.
It's a total loser.
Wow. So you're okay if they make them totally numb. Or here's a better example. Let's say I breed dogs as a dog farm, and when they get to about 2 years old, dogs can live way longer than 2 years, right? So I breed them to about 2 years old, and I slit their throats, hang them upside down, drain them of everything, gut them, everything, and I turn them into punching bags. That's what they are. I breed them to be punching bags. Is that a moral industry?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. It's the same thing as the cows that I turn into belts.
What about humans?
We put humans in that scenario. Is it now okay?
We give humans special privileges.
Oh,
humans get sovereign.
Now we're going to break out the special pleading.
What's the morally relevant trait difference between human animals and non-human animals? A universal trait seen in all of them, please.
Hard to say because I can't talk to any other species, but I would argue that like knowledge of the future.
So that's not a universal trait seen in all humans. So what's the trait?
What human beings are not aware of cause and effect, or
children born with a noncephaly.
With a what?
A noncephaly.
It's a syndrome.
It's when you're born with you're born without a prefrontal cortex and many other regions of the brain. They can't communicate. They can't do any kind of critical thinking. They struggle even with like basic coordination. Like from like an intelligence perspective, many like scientists would put them at like the age of like a 1-year-old for like the majority, if not their entire life. So like basically pigs, for example, are estimated to be the intelligence of like a 3 or 4-year-old human on average. So, typically non-human animals can be quite more intelligent than, say, humans with this condition. So is it okay to exploit them in these ways?
I mean, they are still human beings, so.
Okay, well, that's sorry. I'm asking you for the morally relevant trait difference between species A and species B. You're just renaming the name of the species. That doesn't tell me anything. So I'm asking for the morally relevant trait that's intrinsic about that individual. From their perspective, why is it wrong, essentially? So what's the morally relevant trait that justifies doing it to one but not the other?
I wouldn't say that there's something inherent.
Okay, then you have no justification for your treatment of one versus the other.
Species.
There's no justification then. If you can't name a morally relevant trait difference, then there's no justification.
No, there's no justification for human sovereignty. Nope.
No, I'm asking we're seeking out justification for non-human animals to be exploited. What's the justification for them to be exploited needlessly and egregiously, but human animals should never be? What's the justification?
So there isn't. I don't think that you can justify exploiting any sentient creature, but I don't think that consuming animal products is inherently exploitative.
Okay.
If I catch a fish in the river
supply and
and I
demand?
cook him up for lunch,
What
that's
is
not
supply and
exploitative.
demand? Yes, it is. You just stole someone from their home to take their life so you could enjoy licking their insides. That's exploitation.
Isn't it the exact same thing?
No, we already went over this, right? Like we can explain and justify someone consuming animal products in states of necessity.
Right.
Like they have to do this in order to stay alive. That's where it can be justified. But we wouldn't lie to ourselves in the process. Like if I was in that predicament, I wouldn't lie to myself and be like, oh, I totally didn't just exploit that fish. I'm not going to lie to myself and be a moron. I'm going to be like, holy crap, I just exploited this fish in order for me to stay alive.
Yeah.
That's still wrong. That's still inherently wrong, especially for the fish. But I can reasonably justify it because I actually have a meaningful, actionable thing behind it. When I do it for like a simple taste pleasure or mild inconvenience or tradition, none of that is justifiable. I couldn't reasonably justify that. What?
Sentience.
Why is it? I don't think fish are sentient.
Well, that's fine. You don't think that, but the evidence says they are.
What evidence? You were talking about study.
Just because you haven't studied these things doesn't mean it doesn't exist. There's people
I'm asking
who are.
you about the study.
What do marine biologists study?
Marine life. So what about a sea?
And is part of that analyzing their psychoactive experiences?
It depends on your specific field of marine biology.
Of course, but in general, there's someone who specializes in that, correct?
Sure.
Right. So they've done specialized studies on fish sentience. That's part of the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness. It's part of the New York Declaration of Consciousness. We've already analyzed these things through animal studies, seeing their nociception, their ability to feel pain, right? They have those same sensors. They have a central nervous system. We see the inherent sodium channel ions fluctuating in the exact same pattern that ours do. We see the same areas of their brain being lit up to certain experiences that are typically negative in the same way that we do. We see that when we give them painkillers, they stop reacting to those same kinds of stimuli that are typically negative, just like we do. We know that they're sentient.
I imagine you're aware of the studies that show that trees communicate through mycelium. That they, when one gets harmed,
trees are not sentient. My phone communicates to yours right now. That doesn't mean my phone is sentient. Communication is not indicative of sentience. Having a psychophenomenal first-person subjective experience is what being sentient is. And furthermore, even if we were to incorporate, right, your care for plants, right? Let's just say you want to cause the least amount of harm to flora, fauna, and fungi. You want all three groups to be the most cared for as possible. Shoot, we can even add rocks, like just natural land, right? Dirt. If we wanted all of these categories to be in the healthiest, most cared for state possible and cause the least amount of harm and exploitation to them, the answer to doing that is still going to be plant-based living because we use less cropland in a plant-based world. We don't farm animals egregiously in a plant-based world. We don't fish any animals in a plant-based world. All these things would be innately reduced in a plant-based world, causing less harm to plants, fungi, animals, even dirt, rocks, etc. if you cared about those things. But I don't think you think rocks and dirt are sentient, and neither are fungi or plants. Like, there's a reason there's a study called Debunking a Myth, Plant Consciousness. It's looked at the last 50 plus years of evidence on plant consciousness as being a theory, and goes through and debunks all 12 of the major points that have arisen from that.
Yep.
Like, if you want to read that study, it's in the link tree in my bio.
Yeah,
But like,
I am
we know very clearly that they're not sentient. And furthermore, even if you did believe that they were sentient, you would cause less harm to them.
Sorry, the name of the study again? I am going to look it up. I'm curious.
Debunking a Myth, Plant Consciousness.
Also, O put a great study in there. It's called, I just hid it for myself. It was Cleaner Fish Recognize Human, or Recognize, is it face? Sorry, Cleaner Fish Recognize Self in a Mirror via self-face recognition like humans. O put the PMID in there.
The study is Rapid Self-Recognition Ability in the Cleaner Fish. It's published November 2025. So yeah, that's that's not even about like sentience so much. That's just about like even higher grade intelligence that we're seeing in even extremely small fish, where they can like recognize themselves and pass the mirror test, which is typically indicative of higher rate intelligence. So yeah.
Do you believe they have consciousness of the future, knowledge of death?
Some
I don't think that's important.
Yeah, it's not.
Like the only time that would just to concede. Sorry, no, just to concede a little bit for you on that, right? I think that could be important in a tiebreaker, right? If you were to put me in a dilemma where it's like a burning building and I have to choose between saving someone who has like that capacity to like fear the future or something like that, versus saving someone that can't, then yeah, I might choose in that scenario where I have to pick one or the other to save the one that can do that. Like I might have like an interest density put towards that individual, but interest density wouldn't outweigh somewhat, like basically that would only apply in vital interests. In trivial interests, that's not going to outweigh something. Like if the trivial interest is what's like deciding whether I exploit someone or not, then I don't think that's justified. If it's a vital interest to save one or the other, that could be reasonably justified what you're talking about. But we're not talking about those scenarios. Like we're talking about very clearly, here is a sentient individual who does not need to be exploited on our behalf. We could avoid doing so. What is our justification for doing so? That's the question.
So this, I haven't looked into it, but I've heard it plenty of times over the years. When you take an acre of land, let's say you take an acre of land, you put a cow on it. The cow basically doesn't leave a mark. He eats some grass, poops, same old. You take an acre of land and you put a monoculture there. You put an acre of corn. You're tilling all that land, so you're killing all of the natural flora and fauna.
Yes.
Hey, may I please?
Okay. You're just going over crop. You're going over crop unalivenments, correct?
I don't know the specific terminology.
Animals that die in the fields.
Yes, like we've heard it a million times. So like we know in our current predicament right now on planet Earth in this exact moment in time, we use 1.24 billion hectares of cropland for feeding both livestock animals and humans directly. And then we use 2.89 billion hectares of pasture land that we clear cut of natural ecosystems to make room for animals such as cows, typically speaking. So when we're talking about crop unalignments and things like that, we would want to know, okay, well, how much land is required to feed the world plant-based? So you can go read the study called Reducing Food's Environmental Impact Through Producers and Consumers. It's a 2018 study that looked at 38,000 farms across 119 countries, the largest meta-analysis to date on this topic, and found that we would reduce the total agricultural land on planet Earth by about 75% in a plant-based world. So specifically, we would only need about 1 billion hectares of cropland in a plant-based world versus our current 1.24. 1 billion is going to be less than 1.24 billion. So if you wanted to cause the least amount of harm to little critters and crop unalignments, the best way to do that is still going to be a plant-based world.
Very interesting. I only got the first half of that. Reducing food's environmental impact. What was the rest of that?
Reducing food's environmental impact through producers and consumers. Again, all these studies are linked in the link in my bio.
In case you didn't hear it.
Yeah.
I am certainly not like trying to what? I'm not saying you're wrong. I want to look at this information because it doesn't feel right that you would reduce the land usage by 75%.
Correct.
And water usage. I know it takes water.
Here, like, let me.
Maybe you should show him the red picture of the land.
I'm going to show him
Maybe you
something.
should bring that up and show him.
Picture is
I'm going to show him something else that I think will be easier to understand. So,
the red picture is exaggerated.
So here we go. So global land use for food production. So like on planet Earth, 29% of it is land. The rest is ocean, right? 76% of that is habitable land, right? Then we have glaciers and barren land systems that we can't really do anything with. Of that is habitable land. So we have 45% going to agriculture, 38% going to forests, 13% going to shrublands, and then like, urban buildup, like buildings and such, and then water bodies. Of that 45% going to agriculture, 80% goes to animal agriculture, right? 16% goes to crops to feed humans, 4% goes to biofuels and other things. So for the food sector, we get 17% of our global calorie supply and 38% of our protein supply from animal agriculture, meaning the other majority is coming from this small sliver of 16%. This is how we would analyze and know that if we were to increase this part just a little bit more, that gets us to 100% for both of these metrics, and then some. Because if you increase this part to 100%, this will actually go a bit beyond it. So we'll actually increase the total calorie surplus available for humans. Secondly, we have like the layout of what would happen if we implemented this. So if we change it so that instead of 45% of our agricultural land going to that, we would have only about 14% effectively. So that means we would have about 32% that can be returned to rewilded systems. We can return this land to the natural ecosystems that it should be, right? So that's how we know it would cause less overall land to produce, because we already know what comes from our current system. We know animal agriculture is incredibly inefficient. And that's also explainable through the trophic scale, right? The trophic scale is just the passing of energy through an ecosystem, and the lower an item is on the trophic scale, the more energy efficient it is. So plants and fungi are the only ones that are a 1.0 on the trophic scale, because they get their energy from the land and from the sun. So they don't rely on being consumed by anything. They are the only primary producers on planet Earth. So the closer we can get to primary producers, the more efficient we can be in terms of energy usage and production for humans.
That is only natural plants. Crops involve enormous amounts of fresh water and petroleum usage.
No, and the reduction in fresh water, we would reduce the freshwater scarcity metrics on planet Earth also by about 20% in a plant-based world. We currently use about 500 trillion gallons of water towards animal agriculture, despite it, again, only giving us 17% of the global calorie supply. So it's, again, largely a waste of resources from both land, crops fed to feed them, and the water that we use to water, plants to feed them, as well as the actual water requirements of the animals themselves.
And the waste of their sentient life.
Yep.
So, you're obviously more read on this than I. When
Keith is a book. He definitely knows his shit.
Oh, it's good. I'm not, like I said, I'm not arguing anything. When you take an acre of land and you put a cow on it, grazes it, whatever, eats the grass, poops, the land is basically unaltered. But if you get these huge monoculture farms, so I am, vegan or not, I am certainly against the large factory farms. That there's absolutely an enormous amount of livestock that is raised in inhumane conditions, absolutely, and I would argue that monocultures are also devastating for.
Yeah, I'm not exactly pro monoculturing either. I would say like monoculture where it makes sense and would be necessary, sure. But I think largely our food system should be incorporated and changed over to what's called veganic agriculture. You can look into the veganic standard, also in the link tree in my bio. Biocyclic-veganic.org is the main website. But basically, biocyclic veganic agriculture is predicated on the act of like reducing or eliminating pesticides, herbicides, fungicides. It focuses on no-till practices. It focuses on biodiversity to increase crop yields, and also the actual like wildlife surrounding the area can more easily thrive, etc. Like basically, if I wanted to compare best for best, and I were to compare like regenerative veganic agriculture versus like the best form of, animal agriculture, environmentally speaking, the veganic agriculture is going to win in a landslide.
Yeah, super duper all about that, but you understand that that's not. It would take a huge global.
It takes individuals. So in order for there to be a global movement, right, we have to get people on board individualistically first. Like there's definitely like a crossing point. It's a 3.5% rule where effectively if a movement reaches about 3.5% acceptance and adherence rate, we typically see that after that the world shifts towards a point of acceptance of that thing that's being fought for. So like I can't remember her exact name, but she wrote a book about this where she analyzed every single social justice movement from I think like 1850 until now, and found that every single movement that reached 3.5% acceptance rate eventually went on to successfully reach its end goal effectively. And that doesn't mean like it became perfectly adhered to, but
population global. 3.5% of what population? Global population?
Yeah. Yeah, typically speaking.
So, philosophy aside, do you believe that that's, I don't want to say possible, but realistic?
It's very much realistic. Like the time frame in which it happens is anyone's guess. Like, in 1688, 0.5% or less of the people in power in the United States thought that slavery should be abolished. And it took 175 years, working towards that movement for us to like get to the abolitionist approach, right? Where we actually had the Civil War and we fought for it and won, thankfully, and then we had, the Emancipation Proclamation. But that didn't resolve the issue entirely, because after that, now we have Jim Crow laws. And then Jim Crow laws were replaced with segregation laws or added onto. And then we had to deal with the civil rights movement. And then even after the civil rights movement, we still had people being wildly, horribly racist. And that still happens to this day. It doesn't mean that these problems just like go away entirely.
In Alabama or whatever. So
what?
Yesterday, the gerrymandering thing that they just did, where they like canceled people's votes to redistrict them into districts where their votes wouldn't matter. We still do racism. We love
exactly. Like these problems don't just like go away, completely, but we can absolutely reach like levels. And I think if I'm being realistic, I think the first thing that would go would be factory farming. Like, because close to 70 to 80% of Americans, when surveyed, think that factory farming is terrible and awful. But the problem is that these same Americans don't then realize in the same breath the only way for them to eat animal products multiple times per day, multiple days per week throughout the entire year is through factory farming. If everyone swapped over to pasture raised, blah, 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 non-factory farm animal products, the production output is far lesser compared to factory farming. So the amount of eggs and milk and meat that people are going to be able to consume is going to be a couple times per week rather than 3 meals per day, 7 days a week, which is what so many people are accustomed to at this point in time. So that's the main cognitive dissonance people have, is where they believe that they can get rid of factory farming and then continue to consume animal products at the same rate they do today. I mean, ideally, from the vegan standpoint, we would just want them to just get rid of it altogether. But that's, in a realistic fashion, more likely than not, we'll probably get rid of factory farming first before we, completely rid ourselves of like animal agriculture as a whole. And that's probably going to be, something that will arrive at more cleanly and more realistically once we have people on board with ending factory farming and we actually pass laws to end factory farming. And then when people are like now at that point only consuming animal products a couple times per week because they realize they can only have a little bit of it if they want to get rid of that, factory farming, it's eventually going to reach a point where they go, well, I'm only having these animal products a couple times a week anyways. I probably just get rid of all of it.
That was actually going to be my next and likely final question. Would you like to legislate away people's freedoms to eat what and how they choose?
Well, we already legislate that away with it when it comes to like dogs and cats, so I don't see why it's controversial. I would say that the only time that it would be controversial is if we don't have an actual meaningful majority in favor of it. Like, I'm still in favor of democracy. I don't want to have this law imposed if literally only 10% of people are in favor of it. And obviously the law would never be imposed if only 10% were in favor.
51% enough?
Yeah, if people were in favor enough, then I don't see why we wouldn't have that implemented as an option. But typically, like, laws like that still require a higher majority than just 51%. But yeah, even still, like, I think there's like a good chance that it's probably going to go that way to a certain extent, where we're going to have, like, again, certain laws that outlaw factory farming as like a first stake, and then, like, at that point it'll probably be lesser of a big problem in people's minds, I guess, after like a number of years living under that, where maybe the next law is to outlaw animal agriculture altogether, or where it's not necessary, if you will. Then that would be like the next step. And I don't think that would be all that hard for people to comprehend or deal with if we've already now been living without factory farming for more than 10, 20, 30 years or however long it's been.
And again, you would outlaw like hunting, fishing.
Yeah, assuming again it's not necessary.
Okay. I
mean, see, I gotta say, this is really cheap. All you did was ask Keith questions. You didn't commit to anything or introspect at all. Like, you didn't look at your decisions. You didn't look at your actions and how you can make change for these other animals. All you did was ask, how do vegans do this, this, and that? Like, I feel like that's quite rude, especially for the victims.
The biggest takeaway here should be, like, how should you act going forward? Like, if you could live in a way of alignment where you could cause no exploitation to any sentient beings, is that the ideal? Like, would you want to live in a world where that's like, tangibly possible, or like is your everyday life rather? Like, would you want that to be your typical everyday life, or do you want to continue to live in a life where, you're causing needless exploitation of sentient beings? Like, which one do you actually want?
Fine, the bumblebee, fine. So again, I would argue that farming is not necessarily exploitative. I wouldn't say that fishing, hunting, trapping.
We just went over how it is.
He didn't listen to anything.
No, you're saying that.
Well, no, hold on. I want to explain. The reason we already went over this is because I already explained if we did the same action to a human, right? When I gave you the definition of exploitation of a sentient being, that is applicable to human animals as it is to non-human animals. When we put that to the test and said, I put a human in the exact same scenario, you said that is exploitation.
Yeah,
so
humans
the only thing that you're saying is that this particular being is not capable of being exploited, which is also going to be incorrect because you've already, explained multiple times how you can exploit an animal.
Yep,
so it's not that they can't be exploited.
Can't be exploited.
What?
I did not say they can't be exploited. I said that it's not inherently exploitative.
Well, no. Again, you need to correct your verbiage on this. It's not that it's not exploitation. It's that the exploitation can be justified in certain situations. I can agree with you on that, right? It's not always the case. It's not inherently the case that exploitation is unjustifiable. That would be the correct verbiage. Not just saying, oh, it's inherently not exploitation. It's definitely exploitation. It's just whether is that exploitation justifiable or not, right?
Again, I think about a fat pig rolling in the mud or a cow scratching.
Why don't you think about them with the knife in their throat? Because that's where they go.
This is like going nowhere.
A knife in their throat is nice?
I didn't say it was nice. It
Okay,
happened.
so it doesn't matter that you've had a great life. If I stick a knife in you right now, that's terrible, and you don't want that to happen. Doesn't matter that you had a good life before that. So then what morally justifies putting someone in that situation who did not need to be in that situation?
Nature? It's the same with the
Nature?
gazelle.
Well, you could be technically taken out then because nature.
No, human beings have special privileges. I already said.
And what?
Human
Why?
beings get
Why?
it.
Why?
We just kind of decide.
Because what?
We just kind of
Oh,
decided.
so
as a
the
species.
oppressor just decided that my group is okay, but those that are not in my group, I can oppress. That sounds moral to you?
Sounds accurate.
I'm not asking about what is. I'm asking about your morality. Do you find that moral?
Is it really that tough?
It's what about symbiotic relationship?
So all
I
I'm
don't-
trying to say
I don't
is,
own a dog,
I think
but
you
many people do.
understand what we're saying. What I want you to do is think about your actions, because that's all it is. You don't need to think about other people's actions and their situations. You think about the next opportunity that comes up to you. You ask yourself, is me choosing to demand someone be exploited really worth what I'm getting back? Are my benefits really that necessary that it takes everything from somebody else? Because that's what you're doing. That's all it is, regardless of your superiority over them. Just ask yourself that, okay? Would you be willing to watch a documentary?
I'll write it down. I'm more interested in the studies, but I'll put it on the list.
I mean, it just shows you standard legal practice. So it's more like if you're going to demand it, you should know exactly what you're demanding, not the pictures that they paint at the grocery store or the commercials, but the actual reality of what they do. Like what's needed to make a cow give birth to a baby so that they have milk, or what's needed for a cow to become from sentient being to not sentient. You know, like what's inherent in that process. It's called Dominion. It's on YouTube. And you can actually find it on my website, antianimaluse.org as well. But Dominion's free on YouTube. You can just look up Dominion 2018. Just ask yourself if you want to support that.
Watch it. Again, I've been a leather worker for 15 years. I
mean, there's vegan leather. There's other materials you can work with and do the same things.
Leather. Yeah, there's vegan chicken wings too. That's not a chicken wing.
Okay, so the point is your pleasure of working with someone's flesh worth more than someone who had that flesh that wanted to live, want to live? I can't put it in right words. Is the individual that wanted to live, is that more important, or you playing with their skin?
I'm not convinced it wanted to live.
Why?
Because I don't believe it has knowledge of the future. I don't believe that it has knowledge of that.
We've already gone through this. Not all humans have intelligence. There are humans that don't know more than I want to be comfortable.
Honestly, you want to know? I would say that the only reason that they have human rights is because they fall under the umbrella of human.
I'm asking you your morality. You're getting stuck in the is-ought fallacy.
Yeah, I would say that they don't actually inherently have.
Yeah, I mean, no, that doesn't tell us anything about the individual. It's basically saying that if we found out tomorrow that one of those humans that we currently hold under the umbrella, we find out that, oh shoot, they're actually not Homo sapien. They're like a completely different species. It's just now suddenly okay to just mass exploit them.
He was even saying though that they don't have inherent rights if they don't understand basic concepts. Basically, if they don't have a certain threshold of intelligence. Because that's what I was asking him. I'm like, if they're not that intelligent, do they still have inherent rights? He says, I don't think they have inherent rights.
Yeah, I mean, and like someone like, you know how like people interpret the Bible differently from person to person. I could totally see someone being like over the top, gung ho, over interpretive of say like the species name of Homo sapien, right? Because Homo sapien just means wise ape. So they might be like, oh, well, they're not wise. They're not a wise ape, so they're not of our species. So it's okay to exploit them. Like it's just.
Oh my God! It's just back to that thing again where we're talking about like people for the most part, do not know why we even respect each other, why human slavery is immoral. And it honestly makes me realize why those systems were in place in the first place, because people didn't know back then either. They heard some lame excuse that leaned towards an arbitrary trait. Oh, they don't know what we do. They're not used to our society. They come from somewhere else. They look different. They'll even say that they wouldn't be able to survive without the support of whoever's oppressing them. Same excuse is used today for other animals. Like
that's true.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It
Yeah,
just Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just No, just go look at the studies. Go watch some of those documentaries.
There's lots of studies. And if you I don't have a ton of studies on mine. I have other resources like how to go vegan and whatnot, and I know you have that on yours, but check out the studies on Keith's Linktree, because he's definitely got a lot of good ones.
just check those things out, and then like if you have some kind of like relative assimilation to understanding maybe better what we're talking about from that, then come have another discussion. But
yeah, I would be willing to have anybody that I've actually kicked off my panel back up if they're going to have an honest conversation. I'm totally willing to do that. So yeah, please come back if you do find something different. Go watch that documentary at the minimum. Everyone should watch that documentary at minimum. Or if you could, this would be wild, and I just don't think it'll ever happen, but I keep telling people, go to your local slaughterhouse and talk to them. Be, hey, can I get a tour while things are going? I want to see the process. And you're going to be shocked that they will not show you the process. I'm sure if you go to something similar like a vegetable processing,
Can I see your apple orchard?
Let me see your apple orchard, or even the apple processing
Mm-hmm.
facility. I'm sure they would let you go in. Oh yeah, we'll show you what we do.
Yeah, I mean, if they give you a tour of an animal slaughterhouse, they're going to be like, give us like 3 weeks to prepare.
Yeah, let us clean. There won't be any animals when you come in.
Right, exactly.
I very
Let us
rarely
get all the
see
children out.
Yeah, that
Let's
too.
Get all the children out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
There's a reason we have to use undercover people to
Exactly.
go investigate those places.
And that's the point I'm kind of making. It's like all of that, like go talk to your slaughterhouse, and all these questions are going to pop up. Why are you hiding it? All these other like hidden footage is saying you do this. Wouldn't you want to dispel it and show what you say is the truth? So yeah, you always, if you can, go to your local slaughterhouse, whip out your camera so you can record what you see and what you've done, and talk to them. Be like, hey, I'm not vegan. I just want to know what you do in here. And they'll still reject you. I guarantee it. So that's just a lesson to learn. But watch Dominion, because you'll see why they don't want you to see it. They know that when you see, even when it's done the right way, it's still terrible. It's still suffering. The animals still fight for their life. Even if it's instantaneous, you can tell they don't want to be there. So, and
They smell it, they hear it, they see it.
All of it. And even when
they
people
know what's going on.
They do. People say, oh, they're so dumb. They have no idea. Like, they're like children, like children aren't fully aware of what's going on around them, but they know when something is dangerous.
Animals are way smarter than us. And they've been,
especially as children.
Yeah.
Like the babies of
they're
animals
much
are
smarter.
so much smarter.
Right. And they're much smarter than we give them credit for. Right.
Yep.
We don't give animals enough credit, and they're a lot smarter than us, and they've been here a lot longer than us, and they will be here a lot longer after we're all gone, because they know how to survive, they know what to do, they know how to take care of each other the right way, but we don't give them enough credit because we just think they're stupid.
Yep.
And I've been with enough farm animals to know that they're not stupid.
Yeah. And, like when we breed them, we usually pick the ones that we think are more stupid because they're more docile. They're usually going to be, easier to
like
deal
the
with and
beagles we
manipulate.
just got out. Yeah, like all the beagles we just got out.
Exactly. Yep.
Indeed.
We're coming for you, MBR. Get
Hell
ready.
yes.
We're coming.
Are they
We
coming
are
for
coming.
I haven't I've been doing a lot of events the last few days. Are they getting the last 500 dogs out of there, or?
Yes, yes, they're getting the last 500 out of Ridgeland, but we are going to MBR in New York. We're going to go. There's 26,000 animals that need our help.
Okay.
And we need everybody to show up.
All right.
And in
I'll
New
go check it
York.
out. Cool.
It's the MBR. It's Marshall Bio Rio Rio something. It's a biological facility.
Lab.
It's
Yeah.
one of the biggest ones. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
And they're
definitely gonna check
gonna,
that out.
Wayne's gonna be on to have a meeting tomorrow, from what I've heard. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll keep an eye on that. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think from there, I'm gonna end it. I think that last guy was a long haul, and I think we answered. Even though he was a long haul, he did come up with some questions that I'm sure many in the audience had. So even though he took a long time, I think we still turned out with some good info. So all those wallflowers, I hope you had your questions answered. Go check out any of our link trees. Lori, do you have a link tree?
No, I don't have one yet.
I don't have a link tree either. I just have my website. But go check out Keith's
figure out how
link
to
tree.
do that.
I haven't done a link tree before. I could figure it out too. Ian just made me this website, which really worked really well.
Some people just added, like Herbivorous just added my link tree to his bio. So
That's funny.
Okay.
Maybe
I
I'll
didn't
do
know.
that. Maybe I'll just add Keith's link tree to my website.
Simplify.
I can't even get into your link tree, Keith. I tried, but I can't.
Oh no!
I'm just trying to get the information.
Yeah, it's not hyperlinked, unfortunately. You have to just type it in manually.
Like maybe a
Is
copy.
that it?
Link-
Okay, that's it. Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
linktr.ee/tofu whisper.
Oh, okay, got it.
Cool. Yeah, definitely go check out those studies. And for everyone that feels overwhelmed by looking at studies, something that I've done is I try to go through the study, and if I don't understand stuff, I'll utilize AI or even Google to try to figure out what a statement is if I'm like, I don't know what this means. So you can still, you don't feel overwhelmed with studies. Like, just take your time, and it's okay to use tools to help you understand it. It's just really important that you do know the truth. If you have this conception and you don't have evidence for it, you should probably look to see if there's evidence for or against it before you start spouting it or using it to justify exploiting others. So, definitely go check out Keith's stuff. What'd you say?
Exactly.
Oh,
I
yeah,
said
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah, you don't need to be a genius, but it's always good to check things out. So, awesome,
Right.
David, you found the stickers. I made new stickers on YouTube.
People need to do that anyway, just like with reading labels. People need to read labels. Read your labels, people.
Yeah.
Because
Takes
there's
2
so
seconds.
much bad stuff in what's going on. Takes
Yeah.
2 seconds, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can't be bothered to look at the backside of this lollipop.
Yeah, what the hell
It's
was
got
that?
red dye 40 in it though, Keith. It's got red dye 40. Don't do that.
Yeah, the lady was talking about there was gelatin in her suckers, and I was like, I didn't even know they put gelatin in suckers. Like
Probably because like that's the whole trip now, this bone broth crap and putting all this in the protein animal, this crap in the protein and everything. It's bad.
People are actually getting too much protein now. They're getting sick from eating too much because they just don't understand. You don't need unlimited amounts. You just need a certain amount. But
well, they think all this is going to help their skin, hair, and nails,
and their muscles. Yeah.
And their muscles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I did want to thank Dashing Grandpa. Yeah, save the beagles, empty all the cages. I agree. Oh, and Void sent Keith a little heart puff. And Salad Faux Girl sent a corgi. I didn't see the corgi. Oh, I love the corgi. It's so cute. Thank you for that. I just want to quit. Oh, and the 40, thank you for you sent Taco, a heart, a donut. Oh my God. Roses.
There's a corgi for you.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Oh, that's so cute. I always love, I hate what we've done to dogs and cats, that we've bred them to have features that we ooh at. But they are I actually find all dogs adorable.
These animals at MBR are beagles, cats, ferrets, rats, and pigs.
Oh, wow.
So 26,000.
Let's end this crap. Let's not do this anymore. What are we doing?
Testing doesn't work on humans. Animal testing does not work on humans.
It does not. We have better ways of testing things now. We've got we got organs on chips. We got an AI system. We've got other things. We don't need to use animals anymore. We don't need to do that anymore. We have volunteer humans. It's just not necessary.
Just a heads up, I gotta take off because I gotta make my way to a friend's house. But,
Yeah, she's gonna go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Have them, yeah.
Yes, please go follow Keith and
guys
Lori.
later.
Two Spirit Veg and Keith.
thank
Tofu
you.
Whisperer is his other name. So please go
Tofu
follow.
Whisper. Yeah.
Yeah, Tofu
Thank
Whisper.
you.
Thank
See
you,
you again.
Lori.
Hopefully you'll be up again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
missed
up
you.
on Monday. I'll be up on Monday.
Oh, okay. In the
Yeah,
morning?
in the morning, 9 a.m.
All
Yep.
right.
All
Why
right.
not? All right. See you then.
Awesome. I'll see
Okay.
you later,
Have a good
Lori.
weekend.
Yeah, you
Okay.
too.
Bye.
You too.
Thanks.
Awesome. Oh, I bumped. I didn't even mean to click that. I'm sorry. I bumped Lori. I did not mean to bump Lori. I did want to say, please follow Anti-Animal Use. We go on the street. We interview people face to face. Please go check us out. Go follow us. We're on all the platforms, even here on TikTok. In fact, let's get the TikTok up so that we can get the team on TikTok. That would be fun. And then, do I have anything else? I'm Vegan Stoner Lady. Obviously, you can check me out on all the platforms. I did want to show this current visual, which is we stand outside of a slaughterhouse. And this was Gingerless Enigma taking the video, captured these faces and these poor torn up bodies. I don't know what it was, but really captured that moment of like what's happening right here. This is so ridiculous. You can't even stand. Look at their feet. They're like so shaped weirdly. And then there's like couples that are cuddling. Like how can we do this to them? They're sentient beings. They just seek comfort. They want to feel comfortable and avoid suffering. All right. Well, if you're not vegan, go vegan. Please follow all the vegans you saw today. Please follow any vegans you see in the chat. Frisia, thank you for being here. I always love seeing your name popping around. And thank you for coming up, too. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Love seeing you or having you up. Also, who was here? Oh, also, go check out O. Does a lot of great content. Actually, I don't know if you've posted any recent content on this current account, but please go follow O. Follow Keith, Lori. Who else did we have up? We had OD and Sarah. Oh, I can't remember everyone's name. Please go follow all the vegans. Dashing Grandpa right there. Go follow him. Y'all have a great day. Void. I see you, Void. Thank you for being here. You're amazing. I think you've been here the whole day today, too. 40-year-old vegan. Go follow him. All right, y'all. I appreciate you. Please have a good rest of your day. And you missed it. No, it's okay. I'll be live on Monday. And yeah, I'll be live on Monday. So I'll see you then, Stasia. I'm sorry that you're late. I'm so sorry. It's good to see you though. I don't know if there's any other vegans live, but I might go in their chat and hang out. So I'm so sorry. It's good to see you though. Thanks for being here. All right. I'm gonna end it here. If you're not vegan, be vegan and have a great vegan day. Thank you. All right, I'll see you later. Oh no, I can't get to it. I always have to do this. There we go. All right, bye. All right, YouTube, what's up? Oh, so many people commenting. I love it. Oh, this was a good live today. I actually really enjoyed this live. There were some points that were frustrating, but the hearts, I love the hearts. Oh my gosh. Let me see. What are you guys looking at? Okay. I didn't know if I was in the shot. I don't have you guys. Oh, there you are. Thank you, Real Meebo. I really appreciate that. Oh, another damn vegan. Thank you. Yes. I think this is actually a pretty good live. I'm hoping to get more of the anti-animal use team up here. I know they've expressed coming up, so you might see us in the near future, something like next week. So keep your eye out. Go follow our TikTok account. Follow us here on YouTube. Follow us on all the platforms. We need your support so that we can talk to more people. And that's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna keep talking to people. Yeah. Oh, Salad Faux Girl, thank you. Yes. Gonna end it here. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, you guys are amazing. Yeah, David, thank you for being active in the chat. Like I saw you in there answering a lot of questions. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. Also, even though Ian is sitting next to me, I do want to say thank you, Ian, for modding the chat because seriously, it's a lot of work. So you and Lewis and David, thank you. Very much appreciative of your help. And I don't know if there's anybody else in there that I have modded, but thank you so much for keeping it safe in there. Appreciate it. Awesome. Is there anybody else I didn't say any words to? I appreciate you. Keep saying appreciate. Yes, green hearts. Yes. I love it. Fly Sensi. Hi. I'm not pretending to be the science. That's good. You probably shouldn't do that. Oh, Jake is live? Oh, yay. Go follow Jake. Go check out Jake. I'm going to go to his live too. Let's try to keep him on. All right. I'll see you guys over there. Spooky, by the way, I didn't say hi to you. Hi. Where's my little emoji that I can throw at you? Oh, dang it. If you type out the whole word wave, it doesn't pop up. I don't know why. So anyway. All right. I'm going to end it there, and I'll see y'all in Jake's live. I don't know how to do the where you send them over there. Is there a way to do that? Like, what's that called? Invade or something? Raid? Yeah, I don't think I have the raid option. Oh, I see the button that Chip was playing with, create a highlight video. Oh. Wonderful. I literally don't see though how to raid. I'm going to have to ask people about that. I don't know how to do that. Okay. Well, I'll see y'all later. I'll see you in Jake's live. Bye.